What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rianne Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. The weekend is here. Hopefully you have some fun things planned. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're just going to sit back and relax. Who knows? Just know that it is Friday and you should feel a bit more refreshed today.
I don't know why when you just said that you should have some plans or like be in the sun, soak up the sun, like just started playing in my head.
Now it's in my head.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I'm gonna soak up the sun.
Right. That would have been
gonna tell everyone
better for the beginning of the summer.
I know, but I'm soaking up the sun this weekend.
Are you? I'm jealous.
It's my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday,
today.
big dog.
Happy birthday.
How old?
61.
Oh.
We were at his big 60th birthday bash
last year.
Last year, that was a fun one.
61. There's like a little music festival type thing that they do on the vineyard. That's this weekend that I'll be attending. There's a band by the name of Mount Joy that my entire family loves, and they're playing.
They're good.
Yeah, it's actually, they have some pretty big names. Avett Brothers, Mount Joy, Camp.
Yeah, those are all like they come up on Spotify randomly, and I'm like, this is good.
Beck.
Oh, Beck.
Yeah,
That's
Beck.
That's
Remember,
a throwback.
Yeah, everyone talks about Beck. Beck's performing. It's a whole 3-day thing up there.
Have you ever heard the song Deborah by Beck?
No.
It was in Baby Driver. Great song.
I don't think I would. You could tell me any name of a Beck song. I'd be like, I don't know. But if you played it, I think I would recognize it.
Yeah. Beck's good.
Yeah.
Those
It's a
are all
lot of good
That-
names.
That sounds like a good festival. Where
It
is
is.
it?
It's on Martha's
No, but like
Vineyard.
where? Like on the
Where's the exact address?
I don't know the exact. It's in like a baseball field in like Vineyard Haven, I think.
Oh, really?
Technically. Oak Bluffs, Vineyard Haven area.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah, it's going to be real nice. I think we're all going to have a good time.
Do you ever
Like I
get
said, we'll be
fudge?
soaking up the sun.
Do you go to Murdoch's Fudge?
Yeah.
Duh.
Murdoch's Fudge,
know that?
slice of the island.
I had it
That
when I
used
was
to be their
there.
jingle when
Oh,
they
I
had
didn't even know that.
commercials. Oh my! In the summers, they had, when you would watch local news, they would play it on the local stations for the commercials for Murdoch's Fudge, and that was the jingle.
What's your go-to fudge?
I mean, I really normally just do regular, just
vanilla?
chocolate. Well, you guys know I love chocolate. You guys, yeah, I love chocolate.
Cranberry is low-key my favorite.
The cranberry one's pretty good. My parents got a variety pack as a gift a few weeks ago, and we got to try a lot of ones that we don't usually buy.
Probably the peanut butter.
Always good. Yeah, there was a peanut butter one in there.
Yeah.
Can you even walk into the fudge place?
No, I
They
do.
got
And
peanut
honestly,
butter everywhere.
I take a risk because the vanilla is always right next to the peanut butter, and I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, they're rolling that thing right on the tables in the store. Peanut butter is probably everywhere.
I trust them.
Be careful. Be careful out there.
Murdoch's Fudge, slice of the island.
Yeah, I've only ever had it from France.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, you've never been in?
No. I've never visited
Wait,
the
how?
shop.
You brought fudge back?
No,
No, it was
when
in
I
the
was
house.
there, it was
Oh,
in
you
her
just
house
didn't
already.
go.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh.
go.
Yeah.
She was stocked.
Went to the boneyard.
We were stocked up. She did go there.
I love the boneyard.
Yeah.
And I have my merch from there, which I also love.
What's up with you?
Nothing much. I have a wedding this weekend.
Always a good time.
Yep. Lots of weddings, and I'm going to hopefully soak up the sun. It's the last weekend.
Second to last.
I am pumped for Labor Day.
I am too.
I'm really excited for Labor Day. That's next weekend, but I'm really excited.
Why?
Do you have something?
I'm going to the shore.
Oh yeah.
But like there's like a group of us going.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since like we've all like done something together.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited.
Gonna pump it up.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna pump it up. A safe amount.
Okay.
But I'm gonna pump it up for sure.
A responsible amount.
A responsible amount, yeah. I want to talk about something merch related.
Oh.
Because I know we put out new merch recently, journals, pens, whatever. We came up with a new logo that I'm very excited about. But I don't know if anyone will see it till Black Friday.
Well, don't tell them that.
Well, maybe they'll be like, no, this is a ploy, Fran, for them to beg for it to come out sooner.
No. This is a bad idea.
Why? No, you're building the hype.
No, I'm building the hype so people are like, no,
but-
release it sooner.
No, I know, but it's really good. We want it to be the big Black Friday
Bang,
sell.
but it's so good that
But
we
if
Not
we-
that far away.
But
you
if
really
we
think
come
about it.
if we come out with this stuff earlier, then we got to come up with another idea for Black Friday.
Right, but maybe we'll be inspired. You know what I mean? Because of how good this one is.
Maybe. I think
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're leaving this conversation in.
I agree.
We're leaving it in just for fun.
Leave it in.
But I was thinking like, oh, maybe they'll be like, show us it, and
Yeah.
they'll like get excited. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you guys gotta
know-
wait, and they're
I
like,
know,
no,
but you're
give it to us.
You just are really throwing a wrench in the plan that we had of releasing of the two.
They don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm talking about me and you. That you're.
Yeah, but you're saying now you're adding more layers to it.
because you brought it up on the podcast.
So you're adding more details. You're adding more details.
Yeah, because I'm not just going to agree with you.
All right, fine. Whatever. Never mind. Forget
It is
what I
great.
said.
It is
Forget
really
what I
good.
said. I just wanted people to be excited that we are actually working on some cool merch.
It is really good. I really like it, and I like the new design a lot. I just don't, I don't want to
hype it too early.
Yeah,
You want us
like
to wait a
and
couple
I
months?
also think so many people come up with such awesome Black Friday merch here. I want ours to be really good.
Okay. So how about we come up with stuff sooner that's equally as
It
awesome?
could be something else. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll do that.
Okay.
Well, now people are gonna be like, we want to see. We've created.
Yeah, you did it.
I accomplished what I wanted.
Yeah, you did it
We've
anyway.
created so much talk about this merch that people are gonna be like, what is this merch?
You did it publicly, so now I have no choice but to bend the knee
Right.
to what you said because
Yeah.
you did it on
No,
the show
but this is-
instead of talking to me not on the show.
This is exactly. It's working in my favor.
yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
So what I did was smart.
Yeah. I guess.
No.
Me?
Yeah.
I just
No, I always like to
don't want to
tease
get
stuff.
people too I don't want to get people too excited because we want to make sure that the quality's really good.
Yeah, it's not done yet.
No, I know. I'm just saying
No,
The
final
logo
products.
itself,
for the good
actual
quality
merch.
stuff, it takes months.
Yeah,
so
we're
I don't want to
working on-
say we can put this new logo out soon and then it's actually
no.
going to take months.
No, everyone has to wait now.
All right.
Another thing that popped in my head that
God.
I probably shouldn't be saying.
Yep.
Remember a while ago when we told everyone that we filmed something really cool? Remember? We were like, we filmed something really cool.
Yeah.
We're don't worry, guys. We're still waiting
It
for
may
that
never
too.
be coming out.
Yeah, I wish we could say what
It could be a Trent luggage guy situation where it comes out and they cut you.
No way.
No way.
If
We
it
were
comes out, we're definitely in it.
We're
It's
in it,
just
yeah.
it might just not even be coming out like ever. I don't know.
We're gonna have to do some research.
Yeah, definitely. This was two incredibly vague things to
It
pop
was, and people are
up into your head. I have a very concrete thing.
Cool.
I started watching Selling the OC, and I think it's going to be better than Selling Sunset.
really. You
Yeah.
did text me that last night. As weirdly enough, I was reading an article
Yeah.
about it.
I'm 5 episodes in. It has me hooked. It has the magic of the first season of Selling Sunset,
Which was magic.
and now I feel like Selling Sunset might be on the no
no.
Christine. Like they're gonna have to bring in a new villain. There's gonna be some changes, but Selling the OC, they put together a really good cast.
Yep.
There's 3 Alexes, and I think I don't like any of them, which is just amazing.
How are they going to put 3 Alexes on there?
There's 3 Alexes.
That's far too many.
Alex Hall, Alexandra Jarvis, and Alexandra Rose. Like there's so many.
too many
And
Alexes.
the 2 Alexandras work together as a team.
Oh God.
It's
The battle of the Alexes.
I also like it because there's more guys. Selling Sunset, they're missing out. There's not many
it's like
like
$1 million listing
men.
meets Selling Sunset.
exactly. So they have some more guys. One of them's married to Brittany Snow.
Right, and some controversy. People are
Some
trying to kiss him.
drama. Yeah, it's good. And the houses are so
Where is this
cool.
on? Netflix?
Yeah, yes.
I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen it.
Don't worry, Jason and it literally just came out yesterday. It just came out yesterday. But there wasn't really a big rollout for it. It was
I
just
haven't heard
like
about it.
it was just like I just opened Netflix and it said new episodes available, Selling the OC. I said, wow, that's great. I'm gonna start. Obviously, Jason
the
and Brett
OC?
are on it. Orange County.
Oh, okay.
Like they're selling houses now in Orange County, and
Because
not
I thought originally
and,
when
you
you
know,
said it, I was like,
Hollywood,
is it like a crossover
LA.
with the OC, the show?
which is also Orange County.
Oh wait, that's what the OC is?
Yeah, it's about kids
I never
going
knew.
to high school in Orange County.
Oh, I didn't know. I've never seen the show or anything.
Yeah. I actually won't fault you for that because when I was growing up and my sister watched
didn't know
the
what it
OC,
meant.
I was so confused as well. I thought it was like a reality show. I had no idea what it was.
I thought it was like a
If,
serious
if
show
you've
about
never,
business.
if you've never even seen have you ever seen like the poster for the OC?
No.
Then you would
but I've
never
heard
know
about it, and for some
what-
reason, I kind of picture the show Suits when I think of the OC.
It is not like that at all. It
No.
is
I've never seen
quite
Suits.
literally just a high school drama mixed with some family drama. It's
Yeah.
really good.
All right.
Orange County. So they're selling
I mean, it makes
houses.
sense.
They're selling houses in like Laguna Beach, Newport Beach, all those very beautiful places. So the houses are stunning, obviously. I mean, the houses on Selling Sunset are insane, but these houses are all really cool. And low-key, one of the best parts of these shows are the houses that they show. I'm actually very intrigued by like the things that they show. So I'm locked in. I think it's going to be really good.
Well, I will pick it up this weekend.
My other thought that
concrete
thought. I listened to Demi Lovato on Call Her Daddy, and Demi brought up this website that my friends, we were on it constantly.
What website?
And I could not believe it was brought up in this interview. I was floored. It was called Ocean Up. OceanUp.com.
Was it the little dolls?
No. It was, I wonder if you type it in what shows up now. So OceanUp.com was, it's totally gone now. OceanUp.com was the website for Disney Channel star gossip. They had everything, relationships, photos, paparazzi pictures. And it was so crazy to hear Demi bring it up that the Disney stars all were kind of afraid to be on that website because they could get in trouble for it. The fact that it was recognized, I just like, it was like this little blog, it felt like, but we were so glued in. Freshman year of high school, we would all be on our computers and just refreshing OceanUp.com all day long.
I didn't know. I've never heard of that.
It's because it just hit my age range, I think. Like, it was gone by the time I think you would have been on it.
Yeah.
It was like a passing moment where they just would post all the Disney stars and like the teeny bopper stars doing stuff or getting in trouble and things like that. The other thing that is really cool, Demi said working on some kind of show potentially or a project about other child stars, talking about what it was like being child stars.
Please.
Potentially other Disney people, it seemed like.
I wonder who you could get, like, who's willing to openly talk about it.
That's exactly. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah.
I think it would be so
I'd be
good.
surprised if a lot of A-listers, like you're not going to get Ariana Grande. Like,
No, but you might get Miley Cyrus.
You might get Selena Gomez.
are Miley Cyrus and Demi friends
Yeah.
currently?
Yeah,
Oh, they are.
I think so.
I think Selena
Friendly,
Gomez is a
friendly.
lot more private. I think Miley Cyrus,
Yeah.
I could see you doing it way
Yeah.
more.
If honestly, even the low level ones I'd be interested in.
I'd be interested
Put like
in.
Sterling Knight on there.
Yeah.
like the Sprouse twins. I
Yeah.
wonder, or
Like there's a lot. There is a lot that I think
Victoria
would be
Justice.
very
a lot could be
fascinating.
uncovered.
Exactly. Which would be really good. So if that's something that is actually happening, I would be so pumped for that. And those are my two thoughts.
I have to listen to that. I saw a couple of clips that I was really intrigued by, but
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to listen to it.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
I think it's like time for Demi Lovato to have an in-depth interview like that.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I think a lot of people have been very curious.
Yeah, it made me go back and listen to. I do really like Holy Fuck, the album that just came out, and it's the old sound, more rock and roll, I would say.
Did you forget?
And it made me go back and listen to Demi Lovato 2008. That whole album is so fucking good.
That album was great.
That album is so
And I truly thought
so good.
that I could sing like Demi Lovato. Like I would sing. It's my biggest regret that I somehow got rid of my Dell laptop because I had gold videos on there of me singing very seriously to my camera all Demi Lovato songs and like truly thinking I was good. And if I could just get my hands on these videos, it would make my day, but it's gone.
Yeah.
And that upsets
Alex
me.
brought up like being in middle school and playing, or end of middle school, high school is we're the same age, is when that album came out, and just crying listening to Don't Forget, like I'm thinking about your like middle school boyfriend. And I'm like, the amount of times that I did that for boys that literally didn't even know who I was, like freshman year of high school.
The song still holds up.
It really does. That whole album really holds up if you go back and listen. It is fantastic. Get Back. La La Land.
Gotta get back.
Yeah.
To the old Imagine we could still play music on here.
And I knew it was you.
Let
So
up the
good.
copyright rules.
Yeah,
Come
let us play the
on.
whole album.
Let us play music.
Let's just, everyone just go.
We want to play music.
I highly recommend when you finish this episode to go listen to that album again. It's top notch.
I'm going to do that on my drive home later, I think.
I walked to the grocery store yesterday and played the whole thing. I was singing out loud. People probably thought I was so weird.
In the grocery store, you were singing
I was
out
singing.
loud.
Yeah, I mean, it was low.
Like,
It was whisper singing, but I definitely was like, wanna get back to the old days when my phone would ring and I knew
That
you
level in the
wanna
grocery store?
Yeah, yeah.
I would be like,
Kind
this
of.
person's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I just couldn't help it. Just couldn't help it. It was going through my body. It needed to
Rhea,
be let out.
In Scottsdale when we went to that dispensary and the guy was like listening to music, but he was like fully dancing and singing out loud.
And we walked out.
And we walked out and went to a different dispensary.
Me and Noah went to a dispensary in Scottsdale, and we walked into this place, and we stood online for 2 minutes before we were like, we need
felt
to
like 10 minutes.
We need to get out of here. And when we walked out, I said, if this is the end, all of those people in that dispensary would have pushed us into the hole. Like they would have they all would have turned to me and Noah and just kicked us right into the hole and killed us. Like the vibe we got in there was awful. All right.
Those are my points.
Okay, thank you for doing that. We just recorded our first segment and had to go back to the intro because I remembered something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think we just got to be transparent about that because when it's edited, it may sound weird. Anyways, you don't know who this person is, but I do. Gabbie Hanna.
Yes.
You still don't know who she is?
No idea.
Noah, do you know who Gabbie Hanna is?
No.
Okay. Have you guys been on the internet?
No, I see what's I have seen what's going on with her.
But I mean before that.
I don't know who she is.
Okay, so
like when you and Devin both texted about this yesterday, and I Googled, I was like, I don't know. I Googled her. Still, I have never seen her stuff.
Really?
Before.
Okay, well, I would describe her as, and this could be totally wrong and people could say I'm wrong, but this is how I remember. I would say she was like coming onto YouTube, like the end of the Jenna Marbles era leading into the David Dobrik era. She was a part of David Dobrik's early vlogs. Okay. She was in that squad.
Well, you know, I was never really a YouTube gal, so I probably missed it.
Early, she must have been on Vine.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
She definitely was. Because when I Googled her, it said Vine.
She was probably a Vine star, which is where I'm...
When I Googled her, it said Vine, so yes.
I think she was a Vine person. She was really good friends with David Dobrik and that group of people. Early days of the vlog squad, she was in those videos. Yeah. Then she kind of they must have had some sort of issues with her or whatever. I don't know what happened, but she kind of got phased out. And then I don't know what she did after that. But she was big. She has like 7 million followers on TikTok. But something happened with her, and I'm not exactly sure what happened. I don't think anybody knows what happened. But she started what seemed like having some sort of manic episode on TikTok, which was really sad to watch it unfold live. She must have posted 200 TikToks in 2 days. I have never seen anything like this. I
saw the headline. It was like she posted 100 TikToks in a day or something.
It was crazy. And last night I went back and watched all the TikToks, and I was so like worried for her. And I think a lot of people felt the same way, where of course when you see something like this at first, people laugh and they make fun of it and they're like, what the hell's going on with Gabbie Hanna? And then when you like look deeper, you're like, oh my God, this is really concerning. I feel really bad for her. Clearly she's not in the right state of mind. Clearly she needs help. The scariest part about it is, do you know all the stuff that unfolded with the guy coming into her house?
No.
Okay, so this is crazy. So she kept posting on her TikTok, and people were seeing that she was in a very vulnerable state and was acting pretty recklessly on TikTok and saying all these things that she went to heaven and we're all still in hell, and she's figured out the puzzle of life and license plates are codes. And I saw a lot of people saying that
having some kind of manic break.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of other people saying, you know, I've never dealt with anything with this in my life, but from what I was reading from other people is that people in their own life that they've seen have, you know, psychotic breaks have also said something similar of like the license plates are coding to our work, these things that they just.
Jeanette McCurdy in her book talked about she had a boyfriend that like before he was diagnosed, I believe schizophrenic, but before that he was saying like he approached her and was like, I think I am Jesus.
Right. So Gabbie Hanna kept,
and then they, you know, they got him help. But,
exactly. So she in these videos kept being like, I talked to Jesus, like I am the smartest person on earth. I know I'm the smartest, like all these things. It's very clear she's going through something. So when I was reading what other people were saying about their own experiences in their life, and like they're like, we're really worried about her, I was like, oh my, this is like very concerning. Is someone gonna help her?
Right.
A guy showed up to her house. This is so fucked up. Showed up to her house, started posting on his TikTok in her house. She let him in. He said, can I use your bathroom? She said, yeah, come in. He posted the video. she started posting a ton of videos with him being like, hi guys, my friend, I met this guy. He came to my door to ask to use my bathroom. His name's Nick. Me and Nick prayed together and we drank coffee together this morning and now we're dancing together and like all these things. And people kept commenting like, Gabbie, that is a stranger. Get him out of your house. You shouldn't let this guy in. He, on his TikTok, was posting all of these videos in her house. Like, this is Gabbie Hanna's house. This is her kitchen, petting her cat. So fucking creepy. I have chills even talking about it. And people were obviously going after him, being like, you know, you're not, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not helping her. And he's like, I did this to help her. And they're like, no, you're not. You're doing this. You're weird. Like, you're in her house filming her. What do you do? Like, it was one of the most bizarre things I've seen unfold.
He was just like trying to go viral?
Something like that. And then finally, the police showed up to her house because somebody who lived in her area made a TikTok being like, and you could tell he was like a very genuine guy being like, just letting everyone know, like, I do live near Gabbie Hanna and the police have blocked off the road and her house. And they seem like they're in there and taking care of her.
I only watched one TikTok and the one that was sent, and I just know that there was one top comment that was like, Gabbie, please call somebody for help. Like,
it was so, I felt so scared for her that this stranger was in her house taking advantage of her. And it is not going to hold up in the court of law where he's like, she invited me in, because you can tell she's not in the right state of mind. And then she posted videos yelling at him to get out. So it was like, oh, me, like, this is my new friend, whatever. And then it changed to her screaming at him like, you're a stranger, get out of my house. Scary. And then she was like, somebody just broke into my house, like all these things. And everyone's like, clearly she needed help, but the police did show up. I don't think there's been an update. I haven't seen an update. But I just know that it is one of the craziest things I have ever seen unfold on social media.
Yeah.
I have never seen anything like this. A stranger showing up to a personality's house, being let in, filming videos with them, and then him having a savior complex on his Instagram and his TikTok being like, no, I did this to help. What about all you guys for days saying she needed help? I did something. I showed up. It was like, bro, you don't know
scary.
her.
That's
like,
really
it was so scary. And I feel actually really bad for her. And I hope she's okay.
Really
because
scary.
I have never, ever seen anything like this on social media. Like, truly just one of the craziest things I've ever seen unfold.
Yeah, I did. Her sister said something.
I was mind blown. And you didn't see any of this?
No.
Absolutely. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Truly. It's insane. And then this stranger just being like, yeah, I'm in Gabbie Hanna's home. Oh, so out of control.
Yeah, her sister said, we are doing what we can be done from here. It was there in Pennsylvania, I guess. She said, at the end of the day, you are all strangers on the internet and it's none of your business, regardless of level of concern.
Right. I think that's referring to the guy showing up to her house. Yeah. And like, yeah. I feel like I'm talking to nobody right now because neither of you know what I'm talking about.
Her sister's also on 20. Her sister's 20 years old.
I know that when people listen to this, they'll know what I'm talking about because I'm shocked. You guys,
Gabbie has previously revealed that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Okay.
That's something.
Yeah, there you go.
Eventually, Gabbie confirmed that police did arrive and left her a wellness card before leaving. So, that's really freaky. No, I just don't. I didn't really know her at all. Was why I was just like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
It gave me the heebie-jeebies watching this guy go into her home.
That's really scary.
She clearly needed help.
That's really scary.
So hopefully she's okay now, and I'm sure we'll get some sort of update. But if you were following that, I was too, and it was a wild ride.
Yeah.
Let's get into today's show. We are going to be talking about Barbie Ferreira leaving Euphoria, which was
shocking.
A shock, but not a shock if you were following along with the drama of last season. Olivia Wilde Variety interview. I thought it was very insightful and juicy, and I think she's very smart.
She is so smart.
And I really am about to start going after the people that keep going after her. There's a lot of drama revolving, not even drama I would call it, I just think it's sad. People crazy. Are going after Garcelle from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills' son on social media. He's 14 years old. It's been taken to a whole new level. It's very bizarre in my opinion. We're going to be doing our Love Island UK recap.
It's here.
Finally, it's here. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
And we have an awesome, very fun interview for all the Boy Meets World lovers out there. Hopefully that's all of you just like us, with Danielle, Fishel, Ryder Strong, and Will Friedle, who were all so funny. They have great chemistry together, obviously. And I think we clicked with them as well, and it was a lot of fun. So let's get into it, talking about Barbie leaving Euphoria. This weekend is the MTV VMAs, Sunday, August 28th. We all love the VMAs. Probably if you listen to this podcast and you love the VMAs, because it's always the award show that is jam-packed with viral moments. You never want to be the person that's like, oh my God, what happened last night during the VMAs? You want to be watching. You want to be watching live for the moments that are going to happen. There's always great performers. This year, there's going to be awesome performances from Lizzo, Jack Harlow, all of our favorite artists, and Nicki Minaj will be taking the stage to accept the Vanguard Award. I think that people always, there's a lot of talk about award shows. Some are boring, but VMAs are never under that category. They are always filled with these moments and it's fun and music, and love seeing people go back in time and talk about the music that came out this year. So make sure you are tuning into the MTV VMAs this Sunday, August 28th at 8/7 Central. So this news came out. She announced it on her own Instagram story with a drawing of Kat that Hunter made her. It was fan art. She said her first fan art. And if you were following along with the drama of last season's Euphoria, there was a lot of talk about Sam Levinson, the creator of Euphoria, and the way he treated certain people on set, and how some people were uncomfortable and some people weren't uncomfortable. Yeah. And Barbie didn't like the way the direction of her character was going. In season 1, she had such a crucial part to the show. In season 2, you could tell she was cut out of so much. Like, you could just tell that all of a sudden it would turn to her and she'd say one word and the scene would be over. And it was like, wow, you can tell that there has been obvious cuts of this. And, there were rumors that she wasn't happy with her character's progression in the show and thought that she deserved more, and wasn't given that. And it seems like nobody knows whether she was fired off the show or if she left herself or what went down, but she did post this on her Instagram story.
She said, after 4 years of getting to embody the most special and I hate this word because I can't say it, and it makes enigma. It's enigma, but
wait, you don't.
It's, no, it's enigma, but it's with enigmatic.
I don't know that one. Enigmatic.
ENIGMATIC. Like it's enigma.
Oh, and
but enigmatic. Enigmatic.
He took the money with an enigmatic smile.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm probably butchering that. Character, Kat, I'm having to say a very teary-eyed goodbye. I hope many of you could see yourself in her like I did, and that she brought you joy to see her journey into the character she is today. I put all my care and love into her, and I hope you guys could feel it. Love you, Catherine Hernandez. Heart emoji, cat emoji. This, from a fan perspective, sucks because I think season 1, Kat was awesome. I loved her storyline. I thought it was great. And then because of what we all heard rumor-wise of her battling with Sam Levinson about certain creative decisions, she was definitely pushed out a little bit, and maybe it just got to the point where they were both like, we can't work together anymore, so this isn't going to work. So I'm interested to see what they do with her character, where they say she is, or if she's gone, or what happens to her, because she's a main character. Like it's not just some, yes, she was definitely, it felt like we saw way less of her in the second season, but in the grand scheme of the story, she's very much involved.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's definitely, in our opinion, should be addressed in the show what happened to her character, but I actually think they're going to take the route of not addressing it.
Right.
I think she's going to be cut out. I think
she just moves away.
I think that a lot of things were left open for interpretation for the next season. And so I think they're going to focus more on those things rather than where she didn't even have a big role in the second season. So nobody's really wondering what happened with her character, more like they're wondering what happened to her as an actress in real life. Yeah. I think that's where the concern comes. But nobody's like, what happened to Kat in the second season? Because she was written out of all of it. So everyone's like, what happened that she was written out? Not what's going on with her character. So I think in the next season, I think it's just going to be a lot focused on, is Angus Cloud alive? Like,
Right.
is his character alive?
Right.
What the hell happened with Nate and his dad? And the Cassie stuff. Like, I think it's going to be, and Rue, of course, the main character. But like, I think they're going to so focus on these things that they are not even going to address the fact that Kat's not there.
Right. Because it did feel much more ensemble like in the first season, and then second season really honed in on certain characters.
Yeah, there were such main plot points in the second season that every week you were looking for answers.
Yeah.
Where in the first season kind of felt like there was a lot going on all at once at all times.
I don't know how I feel about this Sam Levinson character.
Let me tell you, I don't think he's getting a good rep.
I don't like, yes, you've created an amazing show, but to see the response to a actor disagreeing with the way her character storyline is happening, to then have that result in, well, we'll just cut her scenes and now she's just off the show. It just feels a little icky, like there's just more that happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that sometimes also somebody can work really well with one person and cannot work really well with another. So maybe the experience that Sydney Sweeney has with Sam Levinson is fine, and she has no problems with the way he treats her or whatever, whereas Barbie Ferreira, her working relationship with Sam Levinson isn't like that. And so I think that it could be said for both things, but obviously when you hear the bad work relationships, you're like, he must suck.
I'm a firm believer too that as an outsider not in the acting world, that when these actors pour so much into these characters and they feel themselves in these characters, they should have some input. Now, it doesn't mean it automatically needs to be listened to and changed to. Of course, there are writers of a show. They have a vision. You want to follow out that vision and see what happens. And a creator of the show has a vision and all those things. But if the actor playing the character is adamant against a storyline, I feel like you kind of gotta give her moment to express how she feels and not have it be that she gets like demoted.
Yeah, and I actually do think it's obvious when an actor does care so deeply about the role they're playing.
Definitely.
Like she did with Kat. Like I think she actually, and we hear it when we do interview actors and actresses and they talk about their parts, and you can tell that they talk about the character that they're playing as a real human, right? Like I'm thinking back to our interview with Zoe Deutsch when she talked about Not Okay, and the way that she was referencing Danny Sanders. She was talking about like, this is how Danny feels. And like, so they like really immerse themselves in that character. And I think you can tell how much she cared about Kat as a person. And that feels weird saying for me because to us, it's a fake person. To them, they're making something come to real life. So I think it's sad because I think people really do love her. The outrage was unreal. I don't know if you saw it, but it was like truly, people were coming for Sam Levinson's neck. Like they were really coming at him.
Beloved character, and I think it really, she's a very needed character on a show like that.
Like they need to have friends. Like it can't just be Maddie, Cassie, Rue, whatever. All the like they need to have friends that exist in their world. Yeah. Otherwise it's not real.
And not all friends that look exactly the same.
Exactly. Which I think was a huge part in why she wanted Kat to have more of a storyline rather than, she's just a bigger girl who's experiencing these things. Like there's elements to her as a person that don't just have nothing mean to do with that. Right. So I get that. I think that she was probably right in that standpoint of it. It's like,
hey Sam, big mistake.
Yeah, you really messed with the wrong fan base.
Big mistake.
People are like really not. They're like, oh, let's watch this mess of a season 3. Like they're like people are so into Euphoria, but also so down on it. Like they're like, this is a fucking disaster. Where is this going? And I actually, while watching Euphoria last season, I think everyone had the thought, like, where the fuck? Every week, like, where is this going? Like, there's so many unanswered questions. Where the fuck is this going? But we'll see, I guess, when season 3 comes out.
Slick is a line of frozen cocktail pops available in different spirit-based packs, agave margaritas, rum daiquiris, and their newest release, whiskey highballs. These frozen pops are absolutely delicious, guys. I think that this is a new fun way to incorporate a little alcohol into a little summer fun, little activity, or maybe, you're headed to a tailgate, you want to throw it in a cooler. Each pop contains 8% ABV and only natural flavors, all coming in at under 100 calories. They're so convenient. You can throw them into your cooler. You can take them to a barbecue, or maybe you're on a boat or a pool, whatever it is. Like I mentioned, a tailgate. You can take them wherever. They are a great addition to any party. Also, they're fun. Take these to a party. Hand them out to everyone. Everyone's going to be so happy. They're going to be trying something new. They're going to love it. It's a great talking point everyone will enjoy. Just know that once you Slick, sipping will never be the same, and we'll drink to that. Head to slickspiritedice.com to snag a pack of Slick, or 2 or 10, and stock your freezer with pops for your next good times occasion. Make sure to use our promo code SlickChicks to get 10% off your order too. That's SLIQCHICKS 2 to get 10% off your order at slickspiritedice.com. This ad has been brought to you by 21 Holdings LLC in West Chicago, Illinois. Must be 21 and up to purchase and consume. Please drink responsibly.
Olivia Wilde did an interview with Variety, and let me tell you, first of all, she looks exactly like Kelly Keys. It's actually...
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities.
No, they're identical. I actually cannot believe how much they look alike. I was watching her interview, and I was like, holy fuck, this is Kelly.
Yeah.
So I need that to be out there. 2, she is so smart. She's so intelligent.
Yeah, she is.
I love listening to her talk.
She is a very phenomenal speaker.
Yes, she is. Yeah. And I felt stupid listening to her and thought I should be talking like Olivia Wilde. But I'm from Long Island and I have an accent and I don't sound like Olivia Wilde, so it's not going to come across smart. But she touched on a lot of things about Don't Worry Darling, Harry Styles, all that stuff. The Jason Sudeikis, the paper, the delivering of the custody papers situation. I want to fight every person that's going after Olivia Wilde. I do. And Harry Styles.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I can't. I honestly just, it's mind-boggling.
It's such a crazy...
It's everywhere.
Phenomenon.
They're trying to take her down.
Yeah, well, and it's a crazy phenomenon, and she touched on it, and I found myself thinking... the way she was talking, I don't know really how to explain it properly, but in the article, the author refers to the rumors of some kind of issue with Florence Pugh. Because just obviously, like they touched on, there was a Page 6 rumor and things like that. Like it's written in the article. She does not speak on that at all. And there was, at the beginning, they had written that they had asked Florence to make a comment in the article, and that her people denied the request because she's filming Dune 2 or whatever the other Dune is in Budapest right now. So, like, contacted by email, she couldn't be reached. Now, they wrote in the article that Harry Styles commented via email, which made me think, like, did they do that on purpose to make it, to fuel it even more? And then it also just was crazy in my mind because that is where my brain first went. In my brain, like, it said Florence Pugh, declined comment. And I'm like, oh my God, there really must be something going on. And why don't they like each other? And what happened? And the whole thing. And then she said something about pitting women against each other and how that has always been such a huge thing. Here it goes. While she went on a 14-minute tangent about how we're all complicit in a culture that propagates a narrative that women are to be compared with one another, thus holding them back from their full potential and happiness. And the cycle of not believing in women stems from the post-depression ideal of a nuclear family unit led by the father, a deeply internalized system designed to control women. She said, Listen, I'm not asking for any sort of pity. My life is extraordinary. I'm thrilled with my life. But I do wish for the betterment of society in general that we would all disengage from a cycle of bullying and hatred. We've just lost empathy and we just don't give people the benefit of the doubt, specifically women. We just assume the worst from women and I don't know why. And that just like, I read that as I'm reading the article, I was like, damn, I just did that. When they were talking about Florence Pugh, and I was like, why don't these, what's going on? Where's the drama? When it does feel like she has been supportive towards Florence. She has great things to say about her. Now, has something happened that we don't know about? There could be, but she, I think, is so great. She also talked about how restraining it is for her sometimes when the public talks about her as a mother. It's like when she's photographed out without her kids, they're like, you're a bad mom. Where's your kids? Mm-hmm. But no one ever says that when a guy with kids is photographed out without his kids. Like, they're not like, and she said, and if he is with his kids, he's a fucking hero. Like, it's just this whole different idea. So I'm so interested to see the movie because it feels like it does really touch on a lot of things. But Harry did participate in this interview via email.
Via email. To be very clear, he did respond via email.
I know. Well, I feel like they did put that in on purpose. But she talked about how supportive everybody on set was, that they were in such a bubble, and how Florence really helped Harry and Harry helped Florence, and just the back and forth was really great. She told a story about how they needed some kind of like creepy jingle or just melody for something that Florence hums in the movie. And she told Harry, or Harry had asked, I think Harry had asked her, what is this sound? And she was like, oh, I actually am trying to come up with that right now. I've got some people working on it. And he was like, can I try? And he was like, yeah, of course. And that he like played something on the piano, called her back 5 minutes later and was like, what about this? And played it. And she was like, yeah, perfect. That's it. Like, it's just so much talent.
So much talent. And I love the way that she speaks about him.
I know, I do too.
And people are just like, she's obsessed with him. It's her fucking boyfriend, you maniacs. And like, obviously he's so mega talented.
Yeah.
He deserves the credit. There's also a clip going around of Harry Styles. I don't think he comes across as a bad actor at all. I don't. But
it's crazy.
Do you think he does?
No, because I tweeted the clip just because I'm like, from the Chicks in the Office account. It has so many quote tweets being like, because I said he needs to win every award for this or whatever, and they're like, yeah, for like the Razzies or whatever. Like, people are, the amount of people
awful.
saying
I didn't
that.
mean to laugh that hard.
It's so crazy because it's like a 3-second clip, and honestly, it is. We're just reliving the Austin Butler. They want to put me in jail for the way I was moving.
Which is why I feel
everyone
bad.
made fun of it. They were like, this is so bad. And then Austin Butler.
But the thing is, nobody said Austin Butler was bad. And I remember saying
it was more the line.
And I said multiple times how I think Austin Butler was going to be a phenomenal Elvis. Yeah. I just was like, he thinks he's Elvis. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's different than being like, Austin Butler's an awful actor. Yeah, nobody was saying that about Austin Butler.
Yeah.
We were just like, man, Austin Butler really thinks he's Elvis.
People are talking about his accent in this. Like,
they're like, his accent's so
Harry
bad.
Styles.
Well, he has a British accent.
No, but like movie. In the movie, does he?
Yes.
But like, people are saying it kind of the accent was changing in this one clip.
I don't know, maybe, but he speaks in his voice the whole, like, he's British in the movie. Like, he's not speaking with an American accent in the movie.
There was one video that I saw. It was like TikTok acting when Harry's talking, and then like real acting when it comes to Florence Pugh.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? I really don't think it's going to be.
He did say he doesn't see himself acting more in the near future.
Yeah, I think it just all he did 2-bit movies back to back. It was probably just he got the opportunity. Olivia talked about it in the article too, that it was when it was first given to Shia LaBeouf, they had Harry in mind first, but because of his touring schedule, he wasn't available, and then this shit went. They fired Shia. And then the news about like the FKA Twigs, suing Shia came out after that. And then Harry's schedule opened up when his tour got shut down. So they were actually able to have him do it. I watched Elvis last night, by the way.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Thanks for telling us.
Yeah, thanks for texting us. I guess we mean nothing to you.
Let me tell you something. The amount of times that I was watching the movie.
Bullshit.
Well,
yeah,
well, let me
and
explain.
also we're like an hour into the podcast.
Let me explain.
It's 5:00. We've been together all day.
Let me explain. I sat down and I was like, all right, we're watching the movie. And in my head, I was like, I'm not going to text them. I'm going to bring it up in the intro for recording tomorrow that I watched Elvis so we could talk about it. And then I just forgot to bring it up in the intro.
Yeah, that wasn't one of your concrete.
No, it wasn't.
One of your concrete thoughts.
And this is why I should really write more stuff down.
We should be taking these journals down and writing stuff down.
Because I'm dead serious. Like, I'm watching the movie and I was like, I really want to text Rhea my thoughts right now, but then I want to save it for the podcast, but then I forgot.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? Because I am actually blown
Austin
away
Butler was fantastic.
that we were texting last night.
Yeah. I did not,
other things.
I wanted to save it and then I forgot.
We were just shooting the shit about other gossip.
I know.
And then we've been together all day.
I'm telling you, until right now when Noah brought up the clip of Harry Styles and then the Austin Butler thing popped into my mind. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to say it.
Let's hear your thoughts. I want a rating of Austin. I want a rating of the movie itself.
Oh, I thought I'd give Austin a 90 out of 100. I thought he was great.
Oh yeah.
The movie was like a 67.
I agree with
both
of them.
I agree with
I thought Austin was phenomenal. I was towards the end I was like, I'm watching Elvis. I got it.
Right. He fully immersed himself towards the end. It was almost alarming.
Yeah. Baz Luhrmann's style of movie is a little chaotic for me. The beginning, just everything happened so fast.
Yeah.
I was like, somehow the movie was so long and so fast at the same time.
Not good for the heart.
The first hour, I was like, what year are we in? How famous is he? Do people know who he is? I couldn't get any context. And I mean, I guess that's how the fucking Colonel talked in real life, but holy shit was he the worst part of that movie.
He was so annoying, but he did such a good job at being annoying.
Yes.
Also, I
just would have much rather Colonel Tom Parker to be a part of the movie, of course, but I would have rather been told in Elvis's perspective and not his perspective.
Yeah, it was told in his perspective, but I think it's because he's still alive.
He's dead.
No, really?
He's
dead?
He's dead.
Okay, never mind.
About how old
but
he was.
he lived until late 90s.
Okay, sorry. My bad.
But he's dead. I did a lot of Googling.
He's dead.
I did a lot of Googling last night after I watched because I could not believe
he's dead.
I didn't know that was I didn't really know that was Elvis's life.
I knew about the deal because that's always been a famous deal that they split it halfway.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that he was a bad guy.
I mean, I did not realize he was taking all that money. I didn't realize that Elvis never toured internationally.
I was just going to bring that up. He never left the country.
The amount of money. It's crazy that for our age, we know Elvis is such an absolute mega superstar. And he probably left so much money on the table. He could have been even more famous somehow. Yeah. He never, I was like, you're telling me this guy never toured internationally? It blew my mind. This guy took it.
He barely toured the States.
The Colonel really fucked
He really just did Vegas.
I mean, unbelievable that is how that went down. The Colonel really fucked him. I also didn't know he was up to be the lead in the original, in the Star is Born with Barbra Streisand, and the Colonel fucked him out of that too.
Yeah, the Colonel was no good, but also good. He was good in the beginning. He helped him. He helped him get started.
Wild. Yeah, but then it's
but when you have that talent, he was gonna get discovered.
You got to kick somebody to the curb at one point.
He just fully took advantage. I mean, I guess you could say that guy kind of invented how merchandise is today. It feels
that was interesting. Where he's
because I don't think that stuff really existed. it did.
Selling hate, I hate Elvis.
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, just putting Elvis's face on everything.
We should sell that.
I guess
I hate Rhea merch would blow up.
What year was Shirley Temple alive?
The 40s.
Yeah, the 30s. Oh, she was born in.
She was born in
1928. Because I'm just thinking Shirley Temple, I think, was put on lunchboxes and things like that.
I used to be obsessed with having Shirley Temples, the drink.
Yes,
when I was younger.
Yeah. Betty Boop
at Friendly's.
Did
Betty
she
Boop, big
big
in my family. I got a Betty Boop keychain on my keys. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it.
Did she
it's my grandma's favorite.
The Shirley Temple, it was just she was put these ingredients together. And
I have no idea, honestly. I have no idea what Shirley Temple's.
We had a great Aunt Betty. We always called her Aunt Betty Boop.
Yeah, my grandma's name is Betty, so that makes sense.
The
Benedetta. for long.
Yes. The
R.I.P. Grandma. I
Yeah.
love you.
But yeah, pretty wild. That was I was like, I want to like read a book about Elvis, or I was Googling if there are other documentaries.
The more you find out about Elvis, or the more you don't like about Elvis. I'll say that much.
You think?
Yes.
As a person?
Yeah, there were some weird things. You know,
Huh.
the fact that him and Priscilla's relationship started when she was 14
Oh.
and he was 24.
Well, yeah.
That's insane.
And she claims that they never did anything.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, Dane Cook.
until she was 18.
Yeah.
It was more like she claims it was more of a friendship. Who knows?
But that's
really?
still
Yeah,
like
it's
grooming.
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, there's some things that are, you know, no good when you look deeper into Elvis,
Yeah.
which I think upsets people.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Crazy. What else did I want to say about that? Was a little Elvis sidetrack there in the midst of talking about Olivia Wilde. What did she? I did want to read. Oh yeah, she said when she talked about the being served papers. She said, in any other workplace, it would be seen as an attack. It was really upsetting. It shouldn't have been able to happen. There was a huge breach in security, which is really scary. The hurdles that you had to jump through to get into that room with several badges, plus special COVID tests that had to be taken days in advance, which gave you wristbands that were necessary to gain access to the event. This was something that required forethought. Great point. I think we may have asked that question. Like, how did this woman just walk right in?
Would it be considered an attack? Like, if someone served me at this office, I'd be like.
No, but not
when
on stage.
When you have to go through so many
No, I
different
know.
requirements.
Clearly it was planned. Have you ever seen Pineapple Express where that's his job?
Yeah.
And he's like
Yes.
dressing up and like
Yeah.
you got to trick people to get
No,
it.
you do, but you could be. She could have been caught in a million other public areas, which yes, still would have been embarrassing, but it would not have been on stage at her event.
Yeah.
At her job.
Yeah.
Like,
Clearly petty.
So she said.
and she said
To try to sabotage that was really vicious, but I had a job to do. I'm not easily distracted, but sadly, it was not something that was entirely surprising to me. I mean, there's a reason I left that relationship.
go off, Olivia.
So
Ted Lasso.
Love that.
mic drop. She didn't really go into it more than that.
I
but it
love
was
that
just
she said
like,
that.
Look, guys, I didn't just go through a breakup for nothing. There were problems.
Yep.
So it was. I thought it was a phenomenal profile. She is really very cool. She also did clarify the rumors that Florence Pugh was getting paid way less than Harry Styles. She said that she would never let that happen.
That's just also.
And I also
it's
would
been,
never guess that Olivia Wilde would let that happen.
Also, that has been debunked
Yeah.
multiple times. And people are still running with, well,
Yeah.
then why is Harry making more? And it's like, it came
Yeah.
out, I think, how much.
Yeah. I think they
Florence
got
is-
paid evenly. I think.
Yeah, evenly, or she made
Or
a little more.
I think maybe she made more.
Yeah.
When does this movie come out?
It's a few
September.
weeks.
September
When are they
23rd.
gonna, when do Harry and Florence start doing press?
Never.
I mean, I guess Harry can't,
They might not.
but I would assume that.
No, Harry's in Harry.
because he has a tour.
Harry's in New York. He's not going anywhere. He doesn't
guess.
have to travel anywhere. He could do press in New York for a couple
Yeah.
days.
I mean, they have to do some of them are gonna have to do press.
Yeah, they'll probably just do it individually. If I had to get if Florence is remote somewhere or wherever she is, she might do something remote, or she might do press in LA and
Yeah, like
Harry
on
does press
Kimmel.
in New York. Because if he's in New York, he could do like Fallon, he could do Good
Chicks in
Morning
the
America,
Office.
he could do Chicks in the Office, all of the above.
Yeah.
Since he's just running around New York for the next month, basically. But yes, I thought it was a very insightful piece, and I also like that she kind of lets it fly in interviews. She speaks her mind.
She does.
She doesn't hold shit back, which I like, and I'm very excited for this movie.
Monday nights are filled with The Bachelorette, but even better, Cutting Stems comes right after that. So make sure you're watching our show, Cutting Stems, which is our Bachelorette after show, right after the show. And the best part about that show is that we are able to do it on comfortable mattresses from Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm is here to help you unjunk your sleep, because we live in a land of junk sleep. You're waking up, my neck hurts, my body hurts. I didn't get the right sleep last night because your mattress is messing it up for you. That's where Mattress Firm comes in and gets you the right mattress made for you. You could talk to a sleep expert at Mattress Firm, or go online to mattressfirm.com and look for your mattress on there. Or even better, go to the store, like I said, and talk to a sleep expert that's going to find the mattress that fits you. Mattress Firm guarantees that we'll find the right bed for you at the right price with our low price guarantee, and we'll even let you try it for 120 nights to be sure. So if you guys are not happy with your mattress, you can get rid of it. But everybody knows we all need good sleep, and Mattress Firm is here to do that for you.
Pretty crazy situation in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills universe, the Bravo universe. This week, Garcelle's son, Jax, who's 14 years old, was attacked on Instagram, nonstop comments. He posted screenshots of the comments pouring in. He posted them on his stories, like, I'm just 14, like, leave me alone. And there's all these really hateful, racist, terrible, terrible comments that are being written on this boy's Instagram page about him, about his family, about his mom, that all like stem back to the drama on the show. And it's so insane that it's gotten to this level. And, you know, Bravo put out a statement. Some of the other housewives put out statements saying like it was so crazy what was happening and that kids should be totally off limits. And it took a weird turn because I know people were trying to look up the names of the accounts that were posting, and it was like a lot of them seemed like they might be bots, which is very sketchy.
It was so weird and bizarre reading all this. Garcelle and Bravo posted something that they obviously don't condone any of this, and then Garcelle reposted it, and I saw a bunch of other Real Housewives repost it as well and supporting Garcelle, and people were, you know, pleased with that because I think that a lot of people were hoping that others would stand up for Garcelle and her son just because of how absurd of a situation this is. And it's not the first time that there has been speculation about housewives hiring people to attack other people on social media, and I think it's quite bizarre that this is now an ongoing thing and seems to be repeating itself. I feel so bad for this kid who's 14 years old, starting high school, and middle-aged women are just attacking him, which is so
if that's
crazy.
Even what it is, like,
even if
it's
might just be bots, it might be one person creating a bunch of accounts. Either way, it is so fucked up. I feel so bad for him.
Just really feels like that shouldn't be something that could be possible.
What gives people?
I don't really know how.
Right. Like what in what?
I know.
Right. Mine.
I
do
don't
you feel
get it
I
enough.
should attack somebody like this?
And I just don't get enough how. I don't really understand the inner workings of bots.
I don't either.
It's something that my tech mind, I don't really understand how that works. That you can just purchase all these bots to leave various comments that read like, because it's not like they're all the same comment. They're all different things. Some of them are commenting like, Team Erica, like because there has been drama with the women this season, but Garcelle has not really been involved in it at all, besides her and Erica have been having their issues. Like Garcelle has been very vocal about her concerns about Erica's drinking that has been happening in the beginning of the season, mixing pills and drinking, and defending Sutton. Like that is kind of where she's fallen in. So it just doesn't make any sense unless it's just some absolute scum of the earth racist who just thinks that like they're going to attack her son. It's insane. And then like you said, it turns into like conspiracies of, well, did one of the other housewives do this and get all these bots to do this, which would be absolutely insane.
Yeah,
I don't even know how you do. I don't even know how you go about
also,
doing
like,
that.
Do they even have the fucking time to do that? What are they doing that anybody would have the time to get bots to do something to attack somebody? It makes no sense. I saw people also going after the fact that one of Garcelle's sons has dealt with his own issues with addiction and being like, how could she say something about Erica? It's like those two don't add up.
No, they don't.
They don't go with each other at all.
No.
So it's...
And I'm like... Garcelle has done nothing but just show concern, which is fairly valid. I mean, it's the constant defending of Erica from Kyle and Dorit and Rinna, where it's just like, she's finally letting her hair down. Just let her do her thing. It's not crazy to be like, hey, you're mixing prescription meds with alcohol and it could lead you down a dangerous road. Should we be concerned? Not a crazy thought to have. So I don't know what led somebody to do this, or if that's what happened, or if somebody led a call to do this. I really don't get it. I don't even get how this happens.
Yeah, I texted you last night and I was like, what?
Yeah,
what
you were like,
happened?
You're like, did he do something? I'm like, he did nothing. He's 14 years old. He's like, I'm getting ready to go to high school. Like,
I was like,
he's
why?
like, I got to put my account on private now because everyone's like, it's insane.
I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, did this just started out of nowhere? Like, truthfully, out of thin air?
Literally out of nowhere.
Makes no sense. And it just goes to show how really crazy the internet could be for no reason at all.
Yeah, like, what are we doing here? It's a television show. It's a reality television show.
It's sad though, because time and time again this will happen.
I know.
There's truly never going to be a stop to it, because that's just how
and it's really
people
not good
work,
for the fan base that it is
awful.
Garcelle's son that's being attacked. Like, it's just really a bad reflection.
It is. And yeah, I just think it's one of those things that's upsetting, but the internet, you can say so many things about how the way people attack other people isn't right and all this, and like I think we've said that many times. Unfortunately, for some reason, people are always going to find somebody to attack, and it
does really
really
feel
weird.
It does really feel like a targeted attack because they all came pouring in at the same time too.
It's really weird.
So
it's definitely something to it. And
Andy, I hope you got to the bottom of it.
Yeah, there needs to be a lot
Figure
of
it out.
Investigating within the Beverly Hills Housewives on what they're doing with their bots.
Yeah. We would like some answers here, and I'm sure Garcelle would as well.
Yeah. We are introducing you guys to something you need in your life, and that is the Yogi Bow. If you're looking for comfortable seating, whether that's in your apartment or maybe you got a little desk area in your apartment and you want to feel all comfortable, this is the Yogi Bow. It's a one-of-a-kind comfort that conforms to your body. Fran is demonstrating right now if you're watching on the YouTube. It's a chair, it's a couch, it's a recliner, it's anything you want it to be.
Really comfortable.
It's very comfortable. Fran has actually been sitting in it all day. She's been hogging it.
Sitting a lot of different ways.
And I told her my back hurts and she said, fuck you. It's so comfortable. I'm not getting up. That's actually what happened.
I actually said nothing. I just didn't get up.
Yeah, she just sat there and she said nothing, and she really enjoyed it, and I can tell now she's sleeping. The furniture is guaranteed to bring joy and style to any space, so we got a pink one. It fits our studio. If we need, Mondays are long days here. We're in the morning recording, then we're here all night for the Bachelorette. If we need a little place to hang out, we go into our studio, sit on the Yogi Bow, and we're feeling really comfortable. So as you're ready to get back into the swing of things in the fall, that's usually how it goes. Get yourself a Yogi Bow. Make yourself feel at home. Make yourself feel comfortable. Visit yogibow.com/chicks and use code CHICKS for 25% off your order.
Woo! The moment is finally here. Our Love Island UK recap. It's a lot of episodes to recap in a very short amount of time. So it's not like we're going too much into detail, but we can kind of go through the timeline of events. What I really like to do is when I talk about the show is like talk more about the individual people.
Yes.
And then the big events. So we can go in chronological order, which I think will be helpful considering we did get that trivia question wrong on who were the original 5 girls.
Yes, we did.
On this season. I did like that this season they started it off by doing a public vote for who was gonna be paired up, which I thought was interesting. Instead of letting the actual people choose, it was like the people got to vote who they thought was going to be the most compatible. And honestly, getting one of them right is not bad, I would say, for having those people. But they walked in with Amber, Andrew, Dami, Davide, Gemma, Akenna, India, Liam, Luca, Paige, and Tasha were the first people to enter the villa. The first pairings were Gemma and Liam, India and Akenna, Paige and Luca, Tasha and Andrew, and Amber and Dami. Now, obviously, we know Tasha and Andrew made it work through all of this, but those original pairings, definitely very interesting.
I don't remember the beginning of
You
the
don't.
season.
I know. We're gonna fly through it. I'm gonna go through. I don't
remember the
even
beginning.
some names. I might not even. We can say I don't even remember who that is. Afia and Ekin-Su came in day 3. Afia was on the show, I think, for a week.
Don't remember.
Yeah, I don't. She didn't. She did not make it very far. The beginning of the season, I feel like what I remember the most is that Gemma and Davide were coupled up and they like went on that date. They just did not vibe at all, and it was kind of weird. Like Gemma and Davide as a couple was so bizarre.
I hated Davide.
At the beginning, he sucked.
I hated him. I remember texting you, this guy has got to go. He does nothing for me. And my God, was I wrong? Because he did quite the turnaround. But I think he came in trying to be like the cool guy, and then you got to see his personality more, and you're like, oh, Davide's awesome.
Liam was the first guy to send himself home. It was very short-lived for him. He was there 5 days. He did coin the Love Island baby that everybody kept doing, but he was gone after that. But they made him do it a couple times during the reunion show. And then the next week, we had some big players come in. We'll talk about them. Jax, Jay, Remy, Danica all came in. Jax, a lot of issues with Jax. And I know that he's gotten himself into some hot water since being on the show, leaving the show. He seems kind of young and immature, honestly. But the big drama was that he was Gemma's ex coming in. Gemma could not have handled that. She was like, I don't really give a fuck.
Gemma, the way she handled most things
they
on this
wanted
show,
Gemma to blow up so bad. She never did.
No, she was cool. Yeah, she was so cool. It was like, how is this 19-year-old
almost too cool?
Yeah, I was like, she's so fucking cool with her sunglasses. Like, why am I not her?
Just sitting on a couch with her sunglasses on, being like, yeah, that's my ex.
And she didn't care at all. Literally not at all. Him and Luca hit it off, and they became friends. Jay, he was gone too soon. I know. Not even gone too soon. It's just like
he ended up being on for a while.
He was on for a while, but he was kind of just there.
He got caught in the middle of Ekin-Su and Davide, which gave us one of the best reality TV moments ever.
Right.
Liar. You are a liar. Actress. Get the fuck out.
Right. Which now Davide has been overplaying.
You are a liar. Yeah, I mean, the sound is, we've heard a lot of it now, but at this point, I mean,
the original
Ekin-Su also from the beginning, they had a big character arc.
They all grew.
Those two. Because
everyone on the show
at the beginning, and I still think she kind of is, but at the beginning it was like, okay, Ekin-Su is the biggest pick-me girl I've ever watched on TV. Because, and even towards the end, she still did it, and it drove me nuts. It was like, I hate it when girls get a compliment, and then it's like, oh my God, really? She did that, like, anytime a new guy was like, well, Ekin-Su, you're one of the, if not the prettiest girl here, like, and she'd be like, oh, you think so? Really? Like, every time somebody gave her a compliment, like, oh, you that's really what you think? And then they have to say, like, yes. And then they're like, wow, it's just, say thank you.
I think that Davide brought the best out of Ekin-Su.
He did. He absolutely
maybe not the
did.
best, but he brought out a great side of Ekin-Su that was very funny. I think they both brought a comedic side out of each other.
Yeah.
And which is why they ended up together and have great chemistry. But I do think they helped each other in terms of looking better to the audience.
Yeah, yeah. Jax and Paige, after a little bit of some, different dates and whatnot, paired up, which I felt like was going to go really well. This is the thing. I thought Paige was really good for Jax, but he was maybe not that great for her.
I don't think he was ready yet for
no, I don't think
a
so
mature
either.
relationship. He always said that his relationships never lasted long. His one with Gemma, I don't even think it was a year long.
Yeah.
So I think that Paige was ready, and I think that they had great chemistry, but I don't think he was ready personally to grow up and have like a steady relationship.
Yeah. Remy was only on for a few days. He got kicked off. Danica.
Poor Danica.
Danica, which is so funny because it's like, I guess this just comes with the territory of British accents. If I saw that name, I'd call her Danica, like Danica Patrick. Mm. But when they're like, well, she's Danica. So I'm like, it's just has a little extra flair to it, I feel like. Danica was a hoot.
She was, and let me tell you, poor Danica. Every time she would get talking to a guy,
I know,
and it didn't go far. It killed me because I was like, "What is wrong with?" I think that they were intimidated by her strong personality.
She came off a little
like
too
you
strong.
need a guy that is going to be able to throw it back to her.
Yeah.
Or
the joke was that she talked to the guys like it was a job interview.
That was so funny. HR, they were calling her HR Danica, which was genuinely funny, and she's made fun of herself now for that. And because her personality was so loud and bubbly, but then when she did sit down to talk to the guys, it was more like a job interview. Yeah. But I kept feeling like she was getting the short end of the stick. I'd be like, these guys, why is nobody hanging on to Danica?
She also had the unfortunate role of coming in and definitely being influenced by producers to couple up with a guy in 24 hours and pick the guy that's in a good relationship, At this point, Gemma and Luca were starting to hit it off. And that producers were like, you should probably pick Luca because she doesn't know. But she claims, most attracted to Luca, sure. But it was another time that they tried to get Gemma to pop off. And she was like, all right.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Didn't care.
It's okay. Antigone was another one I felt like short-lived. I really liked her, the singer. She had that cool voice.
She had really good hair.
Great hair. She and Charlie came in together.
I didn't like Charlie at all.
Charlie was...
And I'll tell you why
Charlie
I didn't like
was
Charlie.
a little too posh for me.
I watched the unseen bits with Charlie and Ekin-Su, and she was being very funny talking to Charlie, talking about Voldemort, and she was doing the voice, and she was like, Harry. Like, it was just funny. Funny banter, one might call it. And he was like, can you stop? And she kept going, and he was like, you're making me really uncomfortable. Like, it seemed like he couldn't joke around, and I hate that. And so I think that's why Davide was good for Ekin-Su.
Yeah.
Because you can tell in the unseen bits that she did have like a funny personality like that, and Charlie was not having it, and I don't have that.
Yeah. After Amber and Akeno, who were on in the original cast, they were sent home fairly early, which opened up Dami and India's relationship because they, I guess, had started off. I do like when couples on Love Island start off as friends and then couple up because I feel like it just gives you a little bit more time to know someone on just a personal level and not an intimate level. There's something very obviously intimate about immediately getting into bed with someone without kind of it. I feel like it just allows you to talk in a more casual setting where you don't feel like you have to be talking to your partner the whole day. It's like, we can keep coming back to each other. It's more of a flirt where it's like, you can let it build. And then finally when you do couple up, it's like, this is the person I want to be coupled up with. Instead of just always being coupled up, which is why I think Andrew and Tasha had some issues because they were coupled up from the beginning. And it's always like, well, is there... I don't know. We've been coupled up the whole time. Is there any other options?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Andrew and Tasha. I am.
I have too.
I'm a big fan of Andrew and Tasha. And I talked about the hate that Tasha was getting throughout the season and said that I didn't think it was warranted at all from the Islanders themselves in the villa and also outside.
Apparently the UK public.
And they really tore her apart. And I felt so sorry for her, but I'm a big fan of them. I'm rooting for them as a couple. I don't know. Tasha's never had a relationship from what she made it seem. So
looks like they're moving in together,
right? And so I just root for them because you never know when somebody has never. Maybe this is the guy for her, and that's the one. And I would love that, but you never know when somebody hasn't had a relationship before. Things could arise. You never know how they're going to handle the situation, and that's not to say that the first guy you date isn't the one for you. Like that could very well be possible for them. So I am rooting for them as a couple.
So after we had the Casa Amor situation happen, Ekin-Su and Davide had a date right before that, which was kind of like, ooh, they may finally be getting back on the same page at this point. This was after the Jay drama. He was finally letting that's when I first saw Davide's cracks, where I was like, okay, maybe this guy, because at first with the Jay stuff, it was like, when you lied to me and you're done. I'm done with you. Like you're never, I'm forgetting about her. I never want to see her again. And then she kind of slowly worked her way back in. And I think at first I was like, is this guy really going to be too macho that he can't give this girl a second chance because he's like afraid of what the boys are going to say? And then he finally kind of did. And
Yeah.
then even like the jokes around it were funny. It was like, oh, she's trying. And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was liking her again. And they did get to go on a date right before Casa Amor when the new guys came in and the girls came. And this was honestly a phenomenal, I thought, Casa Amor. Good Casa Amor recoupling. The drama was there. The girls went in with a mission. That mission was Andrew's got to know that Tasha's not. I always feel like production tells the girls one couple to focus on and be like, your mission is to tear these people apart. And they went with Tasha. It was like and so Andrew was the most vulnerable. His mind was changed so fast. He was like, oh God, that's what she's saying about me. Like, forget it. I'm gonna suck her tit.
Yeah, I was gonna say he licked her tit or whatever.
I licked a tit or whatever.
That was an unreal unfolding, which, by the way,
Iconic line, truly.
Coco really dragged out.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
really held on to that titty licking.
I know.
And went for it.
I
Like,
know.
she was like, he licked my tit. And he told me he wanted to destroy me.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right. You maybe don't need to tell everybody those
You know
parts.
what?
Like, you could talk about the fondling.
Yeah, but you know what? That is such a sexual, like, thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that if that were to happen to me 5 days into Casa Amor, or whenever the heck it did happen, I'd be like, you fucking licked my tit.
No, the licking of the titty, I get.
No, but I'm saying I would tell everyone.
No, that I agree with.
Yeah.
100% Tasha should know
Yeah.
that Andrew did that. The dirty talk, nobody,
Right.
we understand that if he was licking your tit, there was probably dirty talk involved. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think we don't need to know the ins and outs of everything that was said within the, you know what I mean? Like, talk about the actual actions rather than like, I want to destroy you. Like, I don't want to picture Andrew saying that.
Yeah.
Because sweet Tasha. Like, I just, whatever. But Coco, she got her shine with this. And I actually don't think she was really happy with it. I think that she wanted her Love Island experience to go a different way. I think that she wanted to actually find somebody and see what happened. But really, she got caught up in this Andrew Tasha drama, which people are always there for that. Like, why do you think Joanna was brought into season 5 of Love Island?
Somebody always is there to break up the more solid couple to see if something happens. I mean, look at what happened last time with fucking Millie and Liam. Like, that was some drama in Casa Amor. They worked it out, but it was, and now they're broken up, but it was still like shady. And now they do this thing where they bring the girls back in and they're like, girls, do you have anything to say? Because we know that that's what happened with
Loved that.
Molly and Jax, when they were like, Jax like thought he was having his big moment coming back in, staying with Paige, and Molly totally threw him under the bus. As now they make sure like the girls get to have a conversation. Now they didn't make them sit down. Like, remember who was the girl with Millie?
I didn't watch that season.
Oh fuck, you didn't watch? It's a good season, but for context, I can't remember her name. But they did the same thing where they brought the girls back, and then they had Millie go to like a lunch with the girl outside of the villa.
Oh, didn't they do this with? They did this with Amber and Joanna. No,
They might have,
but that was because she stayed.
Yeah, this girl didn't stay.
Right. Okay.
Like Liam came back and stayed with Millie, but she was like, "Oh, I want a chance to talk to you."
Yeah, this was my first time seeing them do that, where they like have the girls let the girls have the floor and say what they did, and then all of a sudden, Ekin-Su finds out that Davide kissed somebody, and I think it's good they do this because the boys shouldn't get away with not fucking doing something and then not telling the people they're going to be with. Like, they should be made aware of what they were doing behind the scenes if they're going to go back and couple up with the same person.
Only 3 couples stayed together in that recoupling: Davide and Ekin-Su, Jackson Page, which kind of backfired, and Luca and Gemma. And Andrew came back with Coco. Dami came back with Summer. Danica picked Josh. India picked Deji. And Jay picked China. Tasha picked Billy. That Jay was really floating through it at this point.
Jay was floating through.
Which really surprised me because I don't know why the girls wouldn't have gone harder for Jay.
I was thinking the same thing. I liked him. I
know. It did seem like he kind of picked China early on, that he liked her, but I was kind of surprised that the other girls, at least what we saw, didn't go harder for Jay, because I felt like he would have been an easier target for trying to get into the villa.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we need to touch on
Billy stunk.
Billy was so annoying.
Billy's so annoying.
Billy laughed at everything he said, which I do, but he was just not funny at all.
Yeah.
Deji and India and Dami and Summer was quite hard to decipher, I think, because I'm just not a Dami fan.
Yeah.
I don't trust him.
I liked that. I did like that India was like, look, I'm also going to bring someone in. I'm glad that it didn't end up just being him.
Yes.
You know?
I am an India fan. I am not a Dami fan. I just don't like his attitude. And I think he had sort of a bad attitude in Casa Amor, talking about how he needs to test things, and then a bad attitude after as well. And just a bad attitude now. On the reunion, I didn't like his attitude. I'm just not a fan of him. Deji said 4 words, so really didn't get to see his personality much.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of India.
Yeah, I am too. So, and I actually always do really like the person that comes in on Casa Amor and then just kind of floats through. Like, that was Deji. Like,
he just was floating.
It's like you're just really enjoying your time. You're making it pretty far, and you don't really have to do much. I
think Summer got screwed over.
Summer definitely did. Paige and Jax became a big thing because they obviously were having their issues, and then it felt like he was really going to put in the work to get her back, was fighting for it, and then Adam came in. Adam was on season 4. Everybody freaked out. The ultimate bombshell.
Adam Collard.
Yeah, is that Adam Collard? Everybody's freaking out. It is Adam Collard.
It is him. It is him.
It is him. And he immediately catches Paige's eye for sure. The way it did kind of feel like, oh, did Jax leave because he felt threatened and was just like, oh, I'm out of here. But it really did seem like Jax was in a bad headspace. He wanted to leave. He sent himself home, emotional, him and Luca crying. I cried when Jax left, I'll admit it.
I did too.
I did. I cried.
I thought it was very emotional, but I thought it was very, maybe he hasn't been acting mature ever since leaving the villa, but I thought it was a very mature move on his part to acknowledge that he wasn't in a good headspace and wasn't gonna be able to find that place with Paige and be, act accordingly in the villa. Like, I think he removed himself from the situation before it got really bad.
Yeah.
And he even talked to Adam and said, it's not you, it was just my headspace. So I thought that was a very mature move from Jax, although now it doesn't seem like he's acting very mature after it seemed like he was making fun of Tasha on his Instagram story. Tasha and Andrew unfollowed him. Whole big thing. Who knows what's going on with him? Paige and him haven't spoken. Luke and him have, though. They FaceTimed. So who knows what's going on with that. But in this moment, I thought mature move from Jax and thought it was sad.
Yeah.
And was not really happy about Paige and Adam. I still didn't really pick up on the chemistry.
And this is what we said with Remy Bader. I always get nervous when guys come in this late. Let's not forget the Amber and what's his face scenario, right? Like when guys
Greg,
thank you. When guys or gals come in later and they have the chance to see the show and they know who people love and people don't love. If you can come in and go for a girl or a guy that you know is a fan favorite, you're setting yourself up to continue on the show,
right.
Which is why, like, when Adam immediately came in and just beeline for Paige, I was like, well, everyone really loves Paige. So is he just doing this because he knows everyone loves Paige, or is it because he actually is interested in Paige?
The tide turned. The tide turned.
The tide turded.
The tide turned.
Oh, you said a potty mouth word. You said turd.
I'm gonna jump. I will jump. The tide turned on Paige.
Yeah.
After she coupled up with Adam.
Yeah, I just think that their energy was interesting. I know people were like, oh, did she moved on fast, but I don't really know what the deal was with Jax, really. I honestly was happy she moved on. I just didn't really know if it was Adam who was the right one. But right after Casa Amor is always when there's a lot of people that are sent home. Jay and China were sent home. Jay picked China in the recoupling, and then the next day was like, we're friends, right? Like there's no chemistry there. I think China was like, why the fuck am I here? Like, so they were sent home pretty quick, and then Coco and Josh were sent home after that. And they brought in new people, which is where it felt like maybe Danica was going to have her moment when they brought in Jamie. And they did connect. And I don't follow her on Instagram. Are they still in contact?
I'm not
They were
sure.
like dating,
They
I
were
think.
kind of at the reunion.
Yeah, they were. That's what it seemed like. And then there was a couple other girls that came in. Natalia tried to stir up some shit with Davide and Ekansu, but didn't really work. Or really just Ekansu, which was honestly entertaining at that point. But once you got to the end here, it was honestly more smooth sailing. Of course, they do the Mad movies, which is obviously, those are two of the best episodes too, when they show them the clips out of context when you don't know, and then everybody gets pissed. And that was when it was a bad look for certain people.
I was picturing myself in these moments being like, I would not handle this well at all. I
can't believe they put the tit thing again.
They did it again, but Tasha and Andrew were over it.
Yeah.
They were trying to get Tasha re-mad, and she felt like she was over it. Luca very much overreacted to the Billy and Gemma thing. Billy was really overselling it too. Billy was flirting with Gemma.
Yeah, totally.
Gemma was being nice.
Yep.
She was not flirting in return, I don't think, at all. I think she would shut him down multiple times. I think that was apparent. But I think Billy, in his mind, thought she was flirting because she was just being nice. And there's always a funny saying people say, like, I'm not flirting, I'm just hot and talking. Like, that's Gemma. Like, she's just a very attractive person who was being nice to Billy. She wasn't flirting with Billy. Billy was so fucking obnoxious. I hated him. I hated Billy. I hated his outfits. I did not like Billy at all. I'm sure he's nice, but he didn't make me laugh at all. I thought he was quite obnoxious. So
yeah, I think
fair. Luca overreacted.
Luca definitely overreacted.
And was
I think Luca overreacted about a few things.
He really did, and he really was like, "Oh, Gemma flirt." Like, in no context did that come across as flirting. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think it was what I said. She's just very attractive and was being nice.
Yeah. After they brought in, like I said, they brought in some new people right before the last week, I guess it was kind of right before last week. Summer went home, Billy went home, and then when everybody got to go on there, I know people like to skip kind of the end, or the end episodes people say are like the most boring, which I understand because there's no recoupling, everybody's kind of set, everybody's in love, but this is the reward. These episodes are the reward.
This is what we work for.
At the end, after watching 60 episodes of this show, and you get to the end and you get to watch them actually be in love, it's very fulfilling.
Yes.
In my mind. The final date episodes are some of my favorite. Ekansu and Davide's final date in the fake like Coliseum with the singer and romance.
They also gave them the best.
Oh, they did have the best one by far.
I think that's also the funny part of the ending is finding out who gets like the really good dates and who gets like all right, you guys are a couple, so we'll give you a date.
I know. Once all the strays were sent home, like the last few that were still
the leftovers.
The last few. Out of the ones that we actually like really cared about, Danica was a final send-off, which I think we all saw coming, and then Adam and Paige were sent home right before the finale. They did get to go on a final date. Who would you say was the best with the babies? I felt like Davide was kind of so good with the baby.
This is like when I was like so in on Davide. I was like, look
at him holding that baby.
Andrew.
Yeah, he was good too, I think.
Oh, when
all the guys were pretty good.
When Andrew was explaining like Tasha's superpower to the baby.
I know.
Stop,
really
I'm going to start crying.
It was really very sweet. But
who didn't I like? Fuck. I'm trying to remember now. There was one person I was like, I do not like the way that they just traded that baby or talked about the baby.
I don't know.
I can't recall.
I don't know. But no, there was a lot of ups and downs drama. I do think the public very much most of the drama for Andrew and Tasha all season, a lot of it did stem from Luca and Dami. I'm gonna say Dam. I've been saying Dami this whole time.
Yeah, I think it is. I think I've been saying Dami, but I think it's Dami.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know. They really kind of made it seem like they thought that Tasha was not really there for Andrew, that maybe she was there for some different reasons and was leading him on and things like that. And they just really continued to make jokes and make comments so much longer than was necessary. It felt like I think was it the Snog Mary pie or one of the other challenges?
It was
where they went way too hard. And it was like, calm down.
Yeah, it was the Snog when they kept throwing the pie in her face.
Yeah. And were like making the comments with it. It was like they had like these speeches that went with it that was like, what are we doing? Like, let's move on. This is not even your couple anymore, and they're happy. So,
exactly. Like, if Andrew's happy, why do you guys care?
Yeah, it just felt silly. And I did, at first, when Tasha was getting so upset about the public votes, I definitely did hop on the bandwagon a little bit of like, ooh, I don't know if I'm liking the vibes I'm getting here. If she just like wants to be super popular. And then I kind of was like, no, that would suck if you're in that position. And then when it kept happening, I was like, okay, now that really sucks.
Finding out people don't like you is never a good feeling, whether
especially when there's like 4 million people watching,
whether
the
you're
show
happy or not, and you feel like people don't like you, like you're going to be upset about it. Everyone wants to be liked, although you're not going to be liked by everybody.
Yeah, definitely. The finale came down to Dami and India coming in fourth. And they came in third. Andrew and Tasha finished in fourth. Davide and Ekin-Su were the winners, and Luca and Gemma were runners up. This played out exactly as I thought it would.
I thought the vote was fine. I thought it was good. I wanted Davide and Ekin-Su to win.
Yeah, there honestly hasn't been that many times watching UK because we can't vote. I mean, where I'm like, hey, I agree with what you guys decided.
Amber and Greg did not deserve to win.
Yeah, that was a wild one. Yeah, they did.
I
know.
They
that
didn't
one really
fucking
was
deserve
wild.
to win at all. Molly, May, and Tommy should have won that. Stick by that.
Amber and Greg winning would have been if Paige and Adam won.
Right. Or...
Because it was Greg was on for like 2 weeks.
It was crazy. He was in the last...
Yeah.
No, it was like 1 week.
Oh, so I guess it was really it'd be like if Danica and Jamie won.
It was so nuts. I still to this day think it was such bullshit because Tasha was the Molly May of this season where people really want to believe that they just were like gunning for her. Like, she's just here for this. She's just here for that, whatever. She doesn't really like him. And so that's what they thought about Molly May. And look how far Molly May and Tommy have come, still together. And Amber and Greg broke up within a week of the show. So I thought that this played out exactly how we thought it would. I think that Gemma and Luca thought that they were going to win or that they deserved to win because they were together the entire time, whereas Davide and Ekin-Su had a lot of ups and downs. But I think ups and downs also show growth. Yeah. I don't think just because they had ups and downs means that they're a bad couple. I think that I
was happy that they had the ups and downs too, because by the end it was like, wow, they've been through a lot and they really do love each other. And I felt the same with Andrew and Tasha. Like, I think it made them stronger because they actually had to have issues and solve them.
Right, and they had exactly. And they came, and after their fights, they realized, oh no, I do want to be with this person. Whereas you could have a fight and be like, I don't want to be with this person. So I was happy with that. I was so happy. I'm such a Davide fan. Yeah. Like, I think he's so funny. I think him and Ekin-Su together are so funny.
They're gonna get a travel show.
They're gonna have a show on ITV where they go to Turkey for 1 week and go to Italy for 1 week. And I'm obviously gonna be keeping my VPN so that I could watch that. Yes. And everybody's getting their brand deals. Tasha got a big deal with eBay, which was awesome. I think it's people funny were really happy about
all
that.
The girls just get like what to start off. Everyone gets one massive thing.
Right. Gemma, I think, is getting the pretty little thing. Ekin-Su got Boohoo. So now there's drama.
Paige just got Forever Unique. I don't know the name of it's something like that. I think there's something with unique in the name.
Drama apparently going on between Gemma and India over the PLT deal. I saw Dami talk about it, and he was like, listen, it's a win when an Islander gets something, it's a win. So like, good for Gemma. There's some stuff going on behind the scenes though that people don't know about. So like, I think maybe another deal is working for India, but I saw some conversation about, Gemma got the PLT deal that India was supposed to get or whatever. But I think they alluded to the fact that India is working on a deal as well, which she obviously should have and will have. Like, people come out of this show and get these deals, really big $1 million deals, and India will have that. And she has a great style, and I think she'll get it. She just probably knows her worth and wants, deserves the $1 million deals too. So we'll see. Tasha's deal, people were happy about eBay because, it's not these like fast fashion brands, and it's a lot of things being reused and stuff like that. And a lot of the looks she wore were from there. So
Forever Unique is what is, and looks like it's another kind of fast fashion type brand as well for Paige. It's interesting. eBay is good. eBay is a good.
For Tasha,
and I'll be honest, I didn't realize that they were wearing eBay clothes.
I didn't realize either, but people
nice.
are a lot talking about like sustainable fashion and stuff like that. So
I think that's great. But I mean, we'll see what happens with these couples on who lasts, who doesn't. Ekin-Su's Instagram cracks me up because I feel like she talks in her stories like she is talking to like her 4 people. Like she doesn't quite know how to like she kind of Instagrams like a 40-year-old, which is very funny.
I always think she's older than she is, and not in the way she looks or in any way like that. It's the way she conducts herself is so much more, it just seems older.
Yeah, I agree. But it was a great season. I think probably like we mentioned, those iconic moments will go to You're a Liar actress. Get the fuck out.
Yes. And when he made the pasta.
Out. Yeah, and his
for the talent show. Yep.
And the pancakes.
Yes.
And I licked a tit or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever.
I did like in the reunion where he was like, I really didn't think that would like make the show.
Yeah, it was so, he was like, whatever.
He was like, it's like, what do you think about that? Or I don't know, did he say in the reunion or the final? It might have been the final. He was just like, yeah, I'll be honest. Didn't think that would make it. Yeah, it's like sure did. We all heard you. So, those are the happy couples, and for now, I think everybody is still together at this point. I don't know about Danica and Jamie. I'm not sure.
We'll have to do a follow-up on that.
I'm gonna have to do a little Instagram search, but everybody else seems like they're in a great place, and we're excited to see what their other projects are. And now, gear up, guys. We're only a few months away from a winter Love Island season.
I can't wait.
I'm to South Africa.
Excited.
I know. I am pumped too, because let's not forget that like Paige and Finn are still together.
Yeah, I can't wait.
The winners of the first winter.
Cannot
Love Island,
wait.
So. We have an awesome interview with some of the Boy Meets World cast members that have their new podcast, Pod Meets World. Before we get into that, guys, Coors Light is the official beer of everything unofficial, celebrating those moments that truly make summer chill. We only have a little bit of time left. Utilize these last 2 weekends. I think, Labor Day weekend is coming up where, of course, it is a holiday weekend, but you could have some of your best unofficial moments during that time. Maybe you have no plans where you're just going to take in those last couple days. Maybe you have a day off. You're going to sit on the beach. Do that with a Coors Light. There's only one beer that's literally made to chill, Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way, you always know when it's time to chill. When you need to hit reset, just open up a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Make the most of your summer with a chance to win exclusive chill merch, fun local experiences, even a trip to New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles. Enter to win at CoorsLight.com/chicks. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends 9/19/22. Game ends 9/6/22. 50 USDC 21 plus only. Void where prohibited. For rules, visit CoorsLightSummer.com. Always celebrate responsibly. It's coming from Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado.
All right, everyone, we are joined by 3 special guests this time. We are joined by Danielle Fishel, Ryder Strong, and Will Friedle. You guys may know them from the very popular show Boy Meets World, but now they are coming together for a podcast, Pod Meets World, which we are very excited about to take us all down memory lane. So thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
This is one of our most fun things to do, and also when Rhea and I are like, 5 people on Zoom can be kind of tough.
Yeah. Can we conquer it?
Can we do it? Will we all talk over each other
Probably.
the entire time? Probably. So everyone bear with us, because that's just kind of how
it goes.
So
yeah, we've run into that with the podcast ourselves, with figuring out which one of us is going to speak when, and you kind of develop like a little bit of a sign languagey type thing where you point to each other, like, you're going to take this part, you're going to do this. So we'll figure it out as we go along.
And I think my favorite thing is like when me and Fran, because we've been doing this so long together, we do start to talk at the same time a lot of times, and then she's like, no, you go, and then it's just like, all right, one of you go, because who cares who goes first. But we are so excited to have you guys on. You guys are doing this podcast, which we're seeing is really really popular nowadays. A lot of people are taking us down, like I said, memory lane of a lot of very popular shows that we were all huge fans of. And even people are going back and watching these shows like Boy Meets World because they're on streaming services now. So people who may have never seen them or are way younger than any of us are now watching them. So it's so exciting. And we want to know where the idea for this came about. Who was most excited to do this podcast?
We were all excited. The idea actually came from Lindsay Ridgway, who was our second little sister on the show.
Right.
So one of the on-running jokes that we have is it was actually Ryder Strong's idea, but we never give him credit. So every week somebody else gets credit. So thank you, Lindsay Ridgway, for coming up with the idea for Pod Meets World. It was very, very special of her to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was something I came up with. You know, we started doing conventions together like 2017, 2018, and really just connecting with the fans. And we were coming home from a convention and I like emailed everybody. I was like, guys, I've never seen Boy Meets World. Could we just do a podcast where we watch the show? And then for a number of reasons, we didn't get it together. It didn't happen. And in the meantime, the podcast rewatch has become its own genre. And so, yeah, by the time we finally got our act together and went to the fine people at iHeart, it's already kind of a well-established groove. I think we're one of the oldest, though. Like our show's going back. I don't know how many rewatch shows are going back to like the early 90s. So we're definitely going deep.
Yeah, I agree. I think it definitely is one of the longest shows because it started in Boy Meets World came out in 1993, right?
Yeah, 93.
Yeah. So,
and had we just listened to Bill Daniels when he came up with this idea, we would have had one of the first ones ever. But we didn't listen to him, so we should have.
No, I think it's such a good idea, and I think that everybody is very interested in just how much you guys remember from being on set and behind the scenes and all of those stories, because you guys seem to obviously still be close in some way. But was it always that way, or did you lose touch and come back together, or did you stay in touch for this many years?
I think the answer is both of those. We've always been close. And we've always had that kind of relationship where you're in each other's lives forever. All friendships you have when you're kids kind of carry on with you for the rest of your life, even if it's just in memory. But unlike those friendships with people you met in elementary school, they probably won't be named in your obituary, where like Ryder and Will, their names, it's going to be like Danielle Fishel died today and is survived by Ryder Strong. Like they're... You know?
It is true, but at least you gave yourself top billing. I'm an also dead. Every time I'm on a plane, I'm always like, also kill Bill Friedle. Like it won't be the same thing. So at least you gave yourself top billing, which is pretty great.
That is funny. We always joke around about that stuff here too, just because we work with so many different personalities. Where we're like, if we all died in a plane crash, whose name would they use first, and who would just be like, and others?
Right.
So now I want to know. Whose name would they use? You guys have discussed it. Whose name would they use?
I think we both get named.
We would probably be named.
Yeah, hopefully.
Not last names.
No.
But it would just be like Rhea and Fran.
Or just host of Chicks in the Office. They wouldn't even name us.
Right.
They wouldn't name us.
Female podcast
Two
hosts.
popular hosts.
Yeah, two female
podcast hosts.
Yeah,
would actually probably be what it would be.
You guys would be like actors from the 90s.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
Boys meet girl actors. Like, no, that's not right at all.
Character names. Yeah.
How?
Ryder with a Y. Yep, of course. Yep.
How? So, Ryder, you said you have never watched Boy Meets World, which is absolutely incredible to me. How familiar with the show, Danielle, were you? Like, did you watch it when it was on, or were you in the same camp of you didn't watch it at all?
Me first. I watched it when it was on. Like, I watched it once when it was on every Friday night. It was kind of my thing because I had no friends or no dates. So it was like, I'm going to hang out with some Taco Bell and watch my show.
You loved yourself.
I did. Well, no one else was. But then kind of after that, you watch it once. I didn't watch it in repeats or anything like that, but I have kind of a creepy memory. So especially with TV, if I see something once, it sticks in my head. So as we're watching the episodes again, they're coming back. Like the dialogue I was saying is coming back. I can kind of remember what the next lines are, but it's it's very strange because it's something I haven't seen in 25 years. And yet it's like, oh, I remember this. Whereas Ryder and Danielle sometimes are like, I was in this episode? What's happening?
No clue. Yeah, we just did an episode that I did not remember a single word of or any of the plot line.
And it was your episode. It was your
all an episode about me, and I had no recollection of it. But yeah, I realized when we watched the first like 5 or 6, I did remember them very well because they were new. You know, we were just starting the show and figuring everything out. And so I was surprised how many memories I had of behind the scenes. But now that we're like 10 episodes in, no clue. I think from here on out, I am going to be shocked constantly.
Watching it back now, does it almost
Can I
feel...
cut you off for a second?
Yeah.
Because I want to hear Danielle's answer to that.
Sorry.
Sorry, no.
No.
I also, at least for the first several seasons, watched them when they were airing on Friday nights because I was 12 and TGIF was kind of made for me and my family. I was like just like everyone else watching it. So I watched at least the first few seasons. And then I think once I got into high school and I was going to like the football games on Friday nights, I don't think I ever like, oh, make sure I go back and watch that. So I think I had seen at least the first few seasons, but then I have no memory of any of the older episodes at all whatsoever. So like Ryder said, some things are coming back to me from the very early episodes, and then every now and then there's something that I'm like, I have no recollection of this. I have no clue what's going to happen.
Right.
Can anybody remember, just curiously, when did, and it started with, I think the first one was TiVo. When did it come out where you could like record your show and watch it back? Does anybody remember like what year that was? Like TiVo came out
after us, but yeah,
you couldn't like in the third, fourth seasons, you couldn't just record it like you would normally nowadays. That wasn't a thing. Okay.
You could record it on a record it on a VHS tape.
What year did the show end?
2000.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think TiVo came out after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not positive.
Watching it back now, do you almost feel like you're watching someone other than yourself?
That's a good question. Yeah, I do kind of feel like that. I mean, I remember being that age and I remember what it felt like to be me at that age. But when I watch it, I have a hard time, especially the episodes I don't remember. I have a hard time being like, are we sure that's me? Because I have no memory of it. But yeah, that's a good question. I hadn't really thought about it that way, but maybe.
You know, for me, you go first, Ryder.
I feel like it's a completely different person, and like I'm kind of discovering who I was. And I'm like, wow, I was a weird kid, and the way I moved my body, I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, I am. It's very, very jarring. Doesn't feel like me. I mean, I was like we talked about. I was the height I am now at the age of 13, so. I look very tall on board. Like the first season, I'm like towering over Ben, and I'm so much taller than Lee Norris, who plays Minkus. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember feeling kind of tall, and that has not happened since. So, very different.
Yeah, you know the thing that's strange is it's like you rehearse all week long, but the actual shoot takes what, 4 hours, 5 hours? So watching the show, it's more reminding me of the stuff that happened the week we were doing that episode as opposed to the episode itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm remembering, remember when we rehearsed this scene forever, or remember what the table read was like that week. That's kind of what it's bringing back for me. But the actual show goes by so fast that it's just kind of like, oh, that's right. I remember how we set this joke up, but I don't necessarily remember actually shooting it. So there's a disconnect to watching what we're doing, but it's fun to watch yourself during puberty. Nothing better than watching all your awkward years thrown up on camera. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Will, how old were you at the start of Boy Meets World?
I was like a month away from my 17th birthday.
Okay,
so I was 16.
And so Danielle and Ryder, you guys were a bit younger, around 13, right?
Yeah.
I was 12. Ryder was around 13.
Yeah. So you guys, were you being homeschooled at the time? Were there teachers on set? Like, how did that work out? Because you're going to school on you know, fake life.
For us, it all seems like school is the show.
Yeah. But then you're also doing school outside of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have to do by law we'd have to do 3 hours of school a day. We would end up usually doing 4 or 5 hours a day, and we had 2 different studio teachers on set with us, working with all of us like at different times. Like one person would be working on French with me, and then another teacher would be doing chemistry with somebody else. But we were always in school when we weren't on set, basically. So yeah, we talked about it. Like one of the first episodes of our podcast, we had to sort of describe a week in the life, because we realized like people don't know, like that our day-to-day experience was a craft service table, a trailer where we had school, and then like very little time actually on the set. So the part that everyone remembers is a fragment of our day-to-day life. But yeah, we were all in school back in our hometowns, getting our work ahead of time. And then, the show would take a week off. Every 2 or 3 weeks, we would get a week off, and we would all go back to school for that week.
To real school?
Yeah.
That must have been really strange.
Because I was back, I lived in Connecticut, so I was like, I couldn't go back every week, so I just got dumber that week and we were off.
You ate Taco Bell every day instead of just Fridays.
I ballooned up nicely during the later seasons of the show, you'll notice. Yes.
It's such a different phenomenon now for us, I feel like, because you immediately assume when you see child actors on shows now that they have no connection to school or like that environment or high school. You're like, oh God, these kids never even sniffed to high school. They don't know what that's like at all. But then I guess you guys really were sort of living both lives, where you were on a massively successful television show, and then you would spend time in a real school. Was that ever really tough? I mean, bullies stink now. I'd imagine they stunk then too.
Right. What was like the reception like of you guys just, these actors just prance into school whenever they want?
I did have that experience when I was in junior high. Like when I started Boy Meets World, I was in 6th grade, and I had also just moved from Orange County to Calabasas. And so I was also in a brand new school with people that I never went to elementary school with, or like didn't have any relation to at all. And so that first year, that 6th grade year, I don't know if I would call it bullied, but I was definitely made fun of. I was called Princess, and like, oh look, Princess is here. Princess decided to join us for school. And I would try to explain like, oh, I'm still doing school just on set. Like I would try to explain how it worked. And, I even got picked on by teachers. I had a PE teacher who like really had it out for me. He was so mad that I didn't have to be in his PE class. And so that was, but then by the time I went to high school, all those kids I had been in junior high school with, I was there with them for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And so by the time I moved into 9th grade and it was like the 4th season of Boy Meets World, they were like, yeah, you, whatever. And so like school was really important to me. And to clarify that, I do not mean the educational aspect at all. I didn't care about that, but I did really like boys, and I really liked football games, and I really liked all the social elements of school.
Same.
So I was super into that. Like I wanted to know what so-and-so was wearing and who broke up with who and who was I going to write a note to and what was the guy I was interested in doing. And so that's why I went back to school for sure.
You liked the gossip element of school, which me as well. I enjoyed the same thing. I did not like the education part of that. But I think it's really funny you bring up the teacher point, because I would imagine the teachers are almost more jealous than the kids, because they're like, I got to teach these damn kids. Like, this is what I'm doing, and this girl's on TV.
Well, and not only that, but like Ryder said, the teachers actually had to put in a lot of work for us to be able to do what we were doing.
Right.
Because they had to have their curriculum weeks in advance and for like a block. So it'd be like, hi, do you have next month's curriculum for 3 weeks? I need all those paperworks and all those sheets that you plan on handing out. And so it was more work for the school, and it was more work for the teachers. And as if teachers didn't need, as if they weren't like, they're not paid well, they have too many things on their plate, then here come these actors. So I can only imagine, I understand why they hated us.
Ryder,
I only did the first 6 months in school. Like the first season I was in school, and then I graduated from high school, and no be smart any longer. Acting forever will be I having. So I was like, school done now. Acting awesome.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't have to deal with what they had to deal with. But you said something is funny, because when we said we were in school for 3 hours a day, you're like, lucky. it seems that way, but when it's just you and a teacher for 3 hours, you can't be passing notes or talking to somebody else. I mean, it's like you are being educated for 3 hours.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
there's
is
a
very
reason
true.
that like Ryder went to Columbia and, Danielle's got degree. I mean, everybody who decided to be smart had degrees from all over the place. I was just the only one who was like, no, this lasts forever.
You
That's
have
amazing.
you have your book collection behind you.
I've never read a single one of these. I have no idea what's in these at all. They just look pretty.
They're actually storage. If you open them up, you can put things in.
Yeah, it's a secret. It's a
They're all
secret door.
safes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A
Yes.
secret
exactly.
door. Ryder, what was your experience like in real school?
I went to a very, very tiny school in the middle of the woods up in my hometown. I mean, I graduated in a class of 12, so it was a very bizarre experience and a very extreme. Like I would go from LA I had to walk like a mile to my school, and if you were the first student to get there, you'd have to start the fire to heat up the like shack that we were in.
Wait,
What?
Yeah.
Well, how have we never heard this before? That you had to stoke the fire if you were there first. Were you on a steamship? What the hell's happening?
Yeah, man, we were in the woods.
This is Ryder actually went to school in 1875.
Seriously?
Yeah, and I was a complete outcast. I had friends.
I was going to say, you're the outcast of 12 people. How is that possible?
You were like really the outcast.
None of them had
Well, like,
TVs.
here's something that at one point I went on Regis and Regis Philbin, and it wasn't Kelly.
Regis and Kathy. Yeah, we all did that round.
I did that one time, and they asked me about school, and I made a joke. I was like, "Oh, I go to this little hippie school out in the," and then like the principal was upset. She was like, "Ryder, you were on television. You called us like a hippie school," and I was like, "I'm so sorry," and like all the kids were all like offended, like, and
I'm
I
so
was like,
sorry,
I thought I was
Professor
being
Moonbeam. I didn't mean it at all.
I don't know. And then like in LA,
You were starting fires at the school. That's a hippie school.
That's not hippie.
It's also
just
not really an insult.
No,
I didn't
thank
think
you.
so, but I just remember like at one point, like one of my teachers, like an English teacher who was 24 in retrospect, like he made some big speech about like materialism and was going on to the class and like made a joke about like, why would anybody ever need like 2 VCRs? And everyone was laughing and looking at me, and I was like, what's happening? It turned out like one of my friends who had been to my house had seen that I had 2 VCRs in my house. So the whole class was making fun of me, including the teacher. And I was like,
wow.
What do I do for a living? I work in film and television.
Wow,
You're
bourgeois
so insecure.
asshole.
I felt so bad.
I
felt
can't
like I was,
believe
like,
you had 2 VCRs.
Yeah, seriously. La-di-da, professor.
You're
and then like,
You're
I
really
went
letting
to
it
LA,
out
I was,
right
like,
now.
a dirty
Oh
hippie
my
kid.
God.
So like I didn't fit in either place. Basically, I always felt a little in between and out.
That is
Definitely.
So they were jealous of you. We could word it like that.
I don't know. No, they all thought it was really uncool to be on TV. Like
That's
it was
what they
really
say.
lame and mainstream. It was like I was made fun of for being, fake and Hollywood and not real. And down to earth.
Ryder, I didn't realize I was going to want to go back and give child you like a giant hug after this.
Yes,
Have you seen
exactly.
Boy Meets World? I was just emanating sadness. That's all I do.
But we didn't know that's what it was from.
Yeah.
My God. It's wow. I'm so sad now.
Yeah, you really just let it all out there. And I think that
We're all princess, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
the fact that
She's
you
not
said
stoking fires when she's getting to the school.
But she was like, yeah, I was called princess, but like, the boys liked me. So
Wow.
But
I had that too. No, I had, especially when I was younger in like middle school, there was a good year and a half where there was an old skit on Saturday Night Live, which was John Lovitz. And every time I opened my mouth in class, somebody would go, "I'm sorry, I was just acting." And they would do that every time I opened my mouth, which just made me not want to talk in class. I was like, I'll just keep my mouth shut. Thank you. So yeah, I think when you're a kid, anything different is bad.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's just, you're different, so you're bad. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Now, I'm loving the dynamic between the three of you, which I think is obviously why the podcast works so well. And you've had some amazing guests already. You guys, you've been putting out episodes for a while now, and you've had some amazing guests. How have you been picking and choosing who you want on, or is it open invite? If you had anything to do with Boy Meets World, you're welcome on the podcast.
So far, it's mostly been open invite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just sort of like who we're still in touch with. I mean, obviously, like we had to like track down Lee Norris because like we had lost touch with him since Girl Meets World. There were a couple that became very obvious once the show started. We're like, we have to see Lee. And then Bill Daniels, of course, was like one of the first calls we made. But yeah, no, I mean, now we're just kind of leaving it open and tracking down writers and people who want to come on or that we're still in touch with and reach out to us, and we'll see how it develops.
It's funny. We like Ryder said, we have this open door policy, but we also are trying to recognize that we have 7 seasons of Boy Meets World to go through. So we have 158 episodes of Boy Meets World to talk about. And eventually we are going to run out of people who were involved in the show. You know, there's only so many people. Like, sure, we may have had a crew of 150. And if we found every single person from that crew, but let's be honest, some of the crew members are not going to necessarily make for great interviews that people want to listen to, or they won't want to come on. And so we're trying to find the balance between open invitation and also let's bring in other people who also had to do with who were popular in the 90s and who either watched the show or guest starred on the show or who had a show of their own on at the same time, or who were just maybe celebrity super fans. Because we love having guests, and people so far, our audience has really enjoyed hearing about the experiences of being famous in the 90s, being a child in the 90s, or being a child actor just in general. So if you had anything to do with the show, we want you to come on. And then also we're always looking for people who were outside of that we can bring on too.
Yeah, I do think that there's always a fun conversation when you can have someone who is a massive fan of the show who watched it in a certain lens gets to talk to you guys who have a totally different viewpoint on what's happening, and that conversation is always very funny because the fans always like, what do you didn't like that one? That was my favorite one, or something crazy was happening, things like that. So it is really great. I know I saw it's funny because I just call him Mr. Feeney, even though it is Bill Daniels. But it's just like,
so do we.
He's just the cutest man. And I just watched, the little video of him saying, "I'm on Pod Meets World. Everyone go listen." And I'm like crying. I'm like, he's
who
so
instructed
adorable.
him to say that, right? Because he's probably like, what's a podcast? Like, it's just crazy. Everything's like, it's new, but it's not, right? Like, podcasts have been around for so long, but then there's some people who are just finding out about them.
Yeah, it's a little like Will. Anytime, I love hearing Will talk about anything that happens on TikTok. Will say, "Have you heard there is a viral thing on TikTok?" And it sounds like you got the oldest person on the earth to talk
Is that
about
right? That's what I said to Bill. I called him. I was like, "Hey, Bill, you want to come on an old timey radio show?" He was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." I was like, "Great." So that's, how you got to talk. No, Bill is one of those guys. We've now done conventions with him. We've done this stuff where you think he's kind of maybe not paying attention or he's wandering a little bit. And then he'll come out with the perfect line that gets the entire audience to roar with laughter. He is the consummate professional and consummate entertainer, and that will never go away. So all of a sudden he will just throw in one line that brings the house down, and then he's quiet for 2 minutes, and then he throws out another line that brings the house down. It's amazing. Truly is. They just celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That's
so cute.
It is that is beautiful.
Bringing up TikTok and social media, I always ask this question to people who had a popular TV show while social media was not what it was today. If social media was around when you guys were on TV, what do you think it would have been like for you? Do you think you would have gotten into trouble? Do you guys think because it can get you into trouble, but I feel like...
Yeah. Which one of you would have been the viral TikTok sensation?
Right. And who would have gotten into trouble?
Danielle would have been the viral TikTok sensation.
Obviously,
but Danielle also would have gotten into trouble. Probably. Yeah.
Both of those.
Yeah, I think I probably would have avoided it. I don't think I would have engaged.
No.
Ryder would have been with the hippie kids at school being like, "Oh my gosh, phones."
Yeah, exactly.
And you're just, why don't you want to live real life and be in
so mainstream?
He just finished his soap making class and be like, "I'm not doing this anymore,
I'm not
man."
Selling out with the TikToks.
Right. Exactly. With the TikToks.
Will, even in the 90s, would have been too old for it. He'd been like, "Oh, I missed that." I don't know how Will would have been old in the 90s. He was.
Let's talk about MASH. That's what I would have been saying. Exactly.
Talking about MASH. I for sure would have had no boundaries. That, like, my phone would have been with me. It would have gone with me everywhere. I'd be doing stories and lives and probably Lord only knows what I would be getting into. And it would have been a nightmare. Whenever people ask us, how do you think you guys all, grew up to not really get into too much trouble? And I think, only because we didn't have social media, because I for sure would have been, thank God I didn't have social media when I was a teenager.
And I've been 3 years without it now, and it's been the greatest 3 years of my life. So nobody should have social media. It just is. It's a thing that all of a sudden is necessary when it's not at all. So it's everyone should get away from it.
It helps people. It helps people like us who use it for our jobs. Yeah. I don't think we'd have a job.
Now
Truly.
I am an old, and I use it for my job, and I also use it for, the occasional, like, ooh, I'm really excited about this personal moment, and I'd like for you guys to know about it. Now that I understand clear boundaries, because I'm old, like, that's something that really takes time for people to learn. I don't think teenagers understand real boundaries between the public and the private. I don't think you have that. Maybe some people do. I did not. Right. But now I love it, because I do feel like I have a good balance. And when I don't know what I'm going to post, I just don't post anything. And when I feel like I have something to post, I post it. So I have a really healthy relationship with it now.
Yeah, I always say I'm relieved that like Instagram and all that started picking up when I was like early in high school. But as a kid, like middle school and junior high or whatever, social media wasn't like Facebook existed, but like it wasn't like all these apps now. And so like I still was able to play outside and make up games with my friends, where it's like now people are getting phones and having social media apps at like 7 years old. Like that's just, it's like part of it's like so inappropriate, but then I think it reaches an age where I think it does help. I went
into a toy store to buy a gift for my boyfriend's niece, and there was a game, like a board game that was like, be a TikTok star, YouTube star, and it had little cell phones and little cameras and all these things. I took a picture of it and was like, this can't be what games are like. We can't be buying these for 7-year-olds.
Because when I grew up, I was like, I want to be an actress. And now when people grow up, they're like, I want to be a TikTok star. It's such a different world. Yeah. Was the paparazzi like bad when you guys were doing the show?
Paparazzi didn't even exist.
Yeah, I was gonna.
No, it was really the early aughts when that went crazy, like late '90s, early aughts. I mean, that's like you watch like the Britney Spears documentary. I was like, I am so glad I missed that. That was post Boy Meets World. That kind of insane, like everywhere you go, cameras, people on the street. And I got a little bit of it, but I mostly that period I was going to college and like keeping my head down. But I remember when I moved back to Los Angeles in 2005. Like, that's when people, like, cars would pull up and people would jump out with cameras. Like, that was when everybody was
Did that happen to you, really?
Yeah. And I remember I would always just be like, hi, do you want to talk to me? And they'd just be like, yeah, man, come on. And I'd be like, well, you could just ask to take my picture, Yeah. And then I just learned to avoid going out in LA. Like, you just don't go to certain places. Yeah. But yeah, there was that weird period. I mean, now I feel like it's finally died down, but like
but if we're honest, we weren't celebrities. Like Boy Meets World was popular to its fan base when it was on, but we were never on the cover of TV. We weren't even involved with TV Guide until like season 7. We were just kind of that show that kept going. We were never that hugely popular. You're on the cover of everything now. I mean, Ryder did the teen magazines and stuff, but other than that, it was.
I don't know.
We weren't those big celebrities,
I don't know if Danielle would agree. The amount of Topanga recognition just by
now, but not back in not by season 4 or 5. We weren't getting recognized everywhere. I wasn't. Maybe you guys were.
We're going out.
Oh, I was there. I was during the show. I never had that problem.
People did not knock on our doors and then freak out when we opened the door to see us. But I did get recognized when I was out and about. Like I tell a funny story that when I was dating a guy named Corbin in the mid 90s, and it was right around the time of like a Corey and Topanga breakup. And my boyfriend and I were at Universal City Walk, and we were walking and holding hands, and there's a guy in front of me who kept turning around and glaring at me. And I'd look at him and like kind of smile, and he'd turn around and he kept walking, and then he'd turn around again and glare at me. And all of a sudden he just stopped and spun around, and he looked at me and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I'm so, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, I just saw you. You just came back for Corey. Who is this?
My God.
He was furious with me.
Crazy.
And I said, oh, No, that's on the TV show. Like and he settled down and walked away, but he didn't really fully understand what I was talking about. And that was happening pretty often back then.
Wow.
That is
I never
insane.
had that.
That is just crazy. But people get so attached. They really do. And I think that it did cross over because I didn't watch Boy Meets World until, I was
late. It was later.
Years later. Like I was 3 years old when the show ended. So it was when it was on like ABC Family and it was Boy Meets World and Full House, and I became obsessed with those shows.
That's when I saw it really start to take off. Is when it was doing the repeats. That's when it really started.
But to me, I thought it was on live because it was I've never seen it before, so I thought I was watching a live show.
It's true, and I think like streaming services and being able to watch it all back, you watch on YouTube. Like I've said this story before, but when I left for college, I bought the full DVD box set of Boy Meets World and took it with me to my dorm room because it was my comfort show. And whenever I was like having a tough time or like, friends, it's like freshman year of college, you're trying to adjust. I'd like sit in my bed and put in my laptop the DVD and watch tons of episodes, and I had all the DVDs. And so it's just evolved in so many ways for people to watch it, from back then to watching on ABC Family to buying the DVDs to now watching on Disney Plus, which I'm guessing is maybe where you guys are all rewatching them. So it's just evolved in such a cool way.
I think it's timeless. I think it's a show that holds up still to this day, that people will still watch back and think it's funny, and there's heartwarming moments.
The clothing, not so much.
Right, but it's also nostalgic, and also the trends make their way back around. Like I'm wearing...
Everybody's dressing like Topanga again. Everybody.
Right. I walked in with an outfit last night, and Fran was like, "You look like you came straight out of the '90s." So I told her she looked like Kelly Kapowski. It all comes back around. But we're getting the wrap up signal, by the way. So I know this has been so much fun. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone can listen to Pod Meets World. What days does it come out?
Mondays and Thursdays.
So double episodes, 2 episodes a week. We love that.
We try most of the time.
Yeah, it's same.
Where exactly are you guys in your rewatch?
We just finished watching episode 10, but as far as where they are in the episode airing, I think we're at like 7. We're like 3 weeks ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a bank of
you got a long way to go.
14 years left. 14 years left. Followed then quickly by, we're also announcing our second podcast, which is Ryder is not listening to this podcast, so we're going to do a re-listen of the first podcast, which is going to be a lot of fun.
That is very funny.
To the rewatch.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. Everyone can listen to Pod Meets World wherever you listen to podcasts, and we really appreciate you hopping on Zoom with us. This was great.
Thank you guys.
Thank you all so much.
Yes, it was so nice meeting all of you. Thank you.
You too.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. We hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Make sure you subscribe to Chicks in the Office everywhere, including on Snapchat, by the way. Love you guys. Talk to you Monday.